What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? This is JC, and welcome to the Wealth Engineering Podcast. If you're new here, I create content to motivate you in increasing your net worth, retire early, and build generational wealth. So, how do we do that? We do that through stocks, crypto, and yes, crypto again, but also real estate and business. And I'm also going to have a lot of contents coming up for business in 2022. So stay tuned to that. So if you're just starting your journey or you're about to start, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell. So tonight, tonight, you see the title, you see the topic. We have an interesting topic to discuss. And it's basically how to achieve your goals, especially we have the new year coming up. So it's kind of like December should be the time that you strategize basically how you're going to achieve your goals. And then basically January 1st and January 2nd, you start applying it. And usually people are mostly motivated in the first part of the year. And then as the year goes on, they kind of like not as they don't have the same drive. But you want to make sure that the first 3 months of 2022, you make the best of it. And if you have a plan, then yes, you can go out there and execute your plan and see if it works, if you have momentum. So if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. And if you don't want to fail in 2022, then this show is right for you. So I'm also going to be doing a call-in show today. So today will be a calling show as well. I'll leave a link at some point in the stream. So if you want to call in, share your thoughts, share maybe some of the roadblocks you had in your financial journey right now, and we're going to discuss together on what things you can do, actionables that you can take to basically overcome these roadblocks in 2022, and how we can leverage the market. I've been making several videos about different markets you should be in, different markets you should be looking into, different segments of the market you should be looking into. So maybe we can use that and leverage the momentum of the market to help you achieve your goals, whatever they are. So we're going to discuss about all that today. But I want to talk a little bit more about basically things you need to know when it comes to your financial goals. Um, yes, basically how to achieve your financial goals, things you need to know. Couple points that maybe can help you define your goals, and then we'll talk about the roadblocks, how to overcome your roadblocks, and hopefully I can get a couple of you in. So I see some of you are already in the chat. Thank you very much for your support. Aaron B, thank you again. Thank you for being early. I like the song. Jay Bones, thank you again for coming here. And Sac Passé, my friend. And Jay Bones, I don't know if you're still here, but we gotta talk, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. We gotta talk, my friend. If you're, I heard there was a rumor out there saying that you're looking for people to talk to you about cryptocurrency, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. You haven't reached out to me yet. Come on, man. What are you doing? Anyway, if you wanna talk about cryptos, man, I'm here, all ears open. Definitely for all the help that you provide as a moderator on this channel. As always, being there on time, supporting the channel. The least I can do is giving you a consultation call. So I don't mind, man. Reach out to me. The best way to reach out to me is my Discords. You can also reach me out on Facebook. So hey, whenever you're ready, man, let's talk about that. But anyway, it's up to you. J Bones again. Peter Investor M. I said your name right this time. Thank you. Salute to you, Peter Investor M. I see you in these YouTube streets, just like me. And yes, guys, as you're coming in, please hit the like button. It really helps. It really helps the algorithm, guys. We're growing. The goal is to reach 1K subscribers by the end of the year. So we're almost there. We're almost there. I'm very grateful for every subscribers that I have. And yes, let's try to achieve this goal, guys, together as a community, and also joining in the Discord, guys. The Discord, we stay active, we stay connected, we share information that can help you. So yes, what's going on, man? What's going on? Can't trust somebody like that. Anyway, man, anyway, come on, guys, stay calm. But anyway, we're gonna talk about financial goals today. All right. So what are the things that you can do to to hit your financial goals? Well, first of all, What are your financial goals? I think the first step to talk about. Um, yeah, thank you, Aaron. Why go elsewhere when you have JC? Thank you very much, man. Thank you for your support. Hey guys, when we almost reach the 1K subscribers, tune in. I'm going to be doing a giveaway, and then I may have a surprise for you guys. So, but tune in, guys. But yes, let's go back into the point. How to achieve your financial goals. First, you need to define your goals. And one of the things that people do is they start big, right? Trust me. Trust me. I know. I've done the same mistake. So I'm not saying that as a way to criticize you. I'm in the same boat, right? That's the whole point of this channel is I've already started my financial journey. Maybe I can guide you along the way on things you could do as you're starting yourself or as you're on the road. And then we can save times, right? But one of the things that actually slowed me down in my financial journey in achieving my goals was the fact that I was thinking too big. Now, one of the gifts I have is I can think very big. I think like a visionary. I can think 10, 15 years down the line. I think scale. It's easy for me to scale my ideas. Like I can take a small idea and scale it into like an entire country. Like that's not my problem. My problem is to stay focused, right? That's right. And that's where coaching help. When you stay coaching helps me stay focused on my goals because my you need to know your strengths and you need to know your weaknesses. And my weaknesses, it's very hard for me to stay focused on one single goal, but it's very easy for me to think of the bigger picture and see very far how things are going. So knowing that about me, I take certain measures to leverage my strengths and minimize my weaknesses by working with a coach. I have a fixed amount of that until I get to the point where I don't even need the coach anymore to stay focused. I can do it sort of on my own. Actually, another trick, guys. What I do is I use my strengths to fight my weaknesses. And I was actually talking. I did Uber at some point, and I think if you go early in my videos as I started my channel, you'll see me doing Uber as a way to fund my startup companies. But when I was doing Uber, I actually spoke with a psychologist about this, and he was interested. He was actually didn't he told me he never considered this before. He consult people like people pay him like per hour, and then that's an idea that he never thought of. And while we were discussing as the on the Uber drive on the Uber ride, he told me this is something that he was actually going to start telling his clients. And I found that was amazing because to me, it almost came naturally. Like to me, I'm like, okay, I'm very good at this and I'm very bad at this. Is there a way that I can use channel all that energy that I know I'm good at to fight what I'm not good at? For example, I'm very good at some of my strengths. I have a lot of energy. I'm like a go. I'm like a starter. Like whenever I go out something, I have the energy to make it happen. I'm like I don't have time for business. I'm like okay, what do we do? Where do we go? Let's get it to it, right? I think if you do the personal like personality test, um, the Strength Finder 2.0 is the best personality test I've ever done. I made a video about that, and that can help you figure out your strengths and your weaknesses. And one of those strengths, they call me an activator. I'm the guys who's energized whenever there's something new starting, and I'm activating this mode. And whenever I'm on this mode, get out of my way. I don't. I have this tunnel vision, and for a very short time, I can put a lot of intensity and energy into achieving this, right? So that is one of my strengths. Another one of my strengths is I can see how one action is going to make several action happen at the same time. So what I do, but my weakness is it's very hard for me to focus on one thing because I can see so many things in advance. So I kind of want to do all of them at the same time. So what I try to do is I focus on the big vision. I think big, right? I focus on the big vision, but I start small. But I use my channel, my tunnel vision so that I know that every steps that I'm doing on that small project will lead to that big picture that I'm seeing ahead. And that keeps me motivated. That keeps me motivated. That keeps me stay on my goal. That gives me the discipline that I need to achieve my goal faster. And that is definitely one of my advice. So first, use your strength to fight your weaknesses, right? My weaknesses is I can be all over the place. There was a time I was in stocks, crypto, real estate, um, swing trading, forex, right? And then two startups, right? I want to do all of them all at once. But no, now I'm like, how do we focus on just one at the time? And then how one of them will allow me to do every single thing that I want to see. And that's how I deal with the market, with how to achieving my goals. So think big, start small, and also use your strengths to fight your weaknesses. So basically, that's two advice that I can have for you. Start hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button as you come in. Subscribes. I see some of you have are being more active in the chat. J Bones, what's going on? Um, no problem at all. Much appreciated. From now until next year, I'm incredibly busy, but I'll reach out to you. Man, please, bro, please, whatever you do, man, don't. We gotta do this, man. Come on, man. But yes, the cryptos is here, man. Crypto is here to stay, guys. There's lots of opportunities. We identify narrative. Narrative are the precursors to trend, to bull run, and then a focus on a niche. We as soon as the metaverse narrative was out, I made an emergency a stream on the Discord channel to let everybody know, and then we've been writing it out. Now we're already focusing on the next narrative. We're going to still making money on the metaverse, and then we're already paying attention to the next narrative, identifying potential projects that can 10x, that can 100x, 10x in maybe a month, right? So, guys, don't timing, right? It's all about timing, and make sure you don't miss the timing because bull runs like this only comes once every 4 years, so you don't want to miss things like this. All right. What else? What else going on? You're in Scotland. Hey, shout out to you. Oh yes, I think it's probably from your family, from your wife family, correct? That's good. That's good. Natasha, how are you doing? Thank you for coming here, Natasha. Yes, guys, please hit the like button. Thank you, the moderators for keeping them honest. You gotta keeping them honest, man. Hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm, and we can go from there. What else is chat is saying? Let me go check very quickly. Um, Natasha, that sounds like me working, investing, business project, and trust me. I can make an entire stream. I can write a book about this. The year 2016, 2017, this year, man, whoo, I was everywhere. Startup, took all my savings to do a startup, and then I do some of that to do real estate investing. I took a course on real estate investing that was very expensive at the time. Then I started investing. What else I was doing? I was already doing swing trading on options. I was doing forex. I was doing day trading to try to fund my projects because at the time I wasn't working. I wasn't working, so I was doing all that, guys. And guess what? At the end of the year, I did not achieve any of my goals. Any of my goals. I was thinking too big and I was spreading around all over the place. So at the 2018, what I did is okay, you know what? I'm going to go step by step, starting over on a new startup projects. I didn't invest in crypto. I didn't invest, or actually, I did invest partially in crypto, in stocks also. That's when the time I was doing the stuff with FCell. I told you guys I turned $500 into basically $22,000, and that was all on FCell. So basically, I was doing the research on that. I was coming up with the principle for wealth engineering. These principles I'm going to live by until I die. But these principles, they all came from thinking, learning everything I was doing, and then restructure them step by step so that I can actually achieve my goals. Again, using my strengths to fight my weaknesses. I have this need of being spreading all over the place to do a bunch of things at the same time. But as I'm focusing on one goal, there is still a bunch of things to do on that single goal, right? For example, let's say I want to reach $100,000 for 2022. which is actually one of my goals. I want to right now. I have a portfolio that is over $100,000. That was my last year goal. I wanted to get to that, so I've achieved that this year. My goals next year is to have at least a net worth of six figures, right? So now, if you count all my debts, my net worth is five figures, not six figures. So my goal is to basically clear off some of these debts and still have a portfolio that is six figures, so that my net worth can be overall six figures. So that is one of my goals. But again, guys, before I was there, I have this need, right? I have this need of being all over the place. It's just my nature, my activator nature. I can't fight it. And that's the other thing. You can't fight your weaknesses. They're part of you. You have to embrace them, and then you have to strategize how to minimize the risk while you still acknowledge they exist. That is the best way to move forward, guys. Best way to move forward. Don't try to like ignore your weaknesses or pretend that you can stop it. You're just lying to yourself. You're just lying to yourself. Let's keep it a buck, guys. So the best way to move forward is you embrace your weaknesses. You don't try to change them. There is no way you can. They will always be with you. So you embrace them, and then you use your strength to minimize your weaknesses. All right. And when you do it that way, when you pay your weaknesses the respect they need, then yes, they will help you achieve your goals, right? So what I do now is, my goal this year was $100,000, right? So what do? I have this need of being everywhere. So what do? Is okay. I want to reach $100,000. I'm going to make some smart investment, like on my long term, to get there. But my need is like this is not enough. You need to be doing something else. So I'm like, okay, what else can I do? So as I'm doing this, I put my money there on my long term portfolio until I can reach my goal. Then I'm searching and I'm educating myself on other methods to achieve the same goals, right? Then I find metaverse. Then at first I found meme coins. At first I found, yeah, all the meme coins trend, basically trying to time the trend. Now I even found a way to use AI so that I can leverage with everything I was doing. And as I was doing all that, my main goal, which was my long-term portfolio, was still there working for me, right? I wasn't spreading myself too thin in terms of my money, but in terms of my mind power and my time and researching, then I was doing the work, so that when the money comes in and I'm ready to invest, I've already done the research, I've already done the time. Sometimes it would take me 3 months just to decide on which crypto that I would put on my next, like on my next position on my long-term portfolio, right? But it took me 3 months to do a bunch of research, bunch of things, educating myself on different technologies, reading white papers. So that weaknesses of me trying to be all over the place at once, I still keep all that within the range of cryptocurrency world, but instead of real estate, crypto, stocks, forex, right? So all that in the cryptocurrency world, but within that cryptocurrency world, I was reading white papers. I was trying to code, like I was trying to read codes. I was trying to do, finding the new trend, trying to better strategize and increase the accuracy of my systems. All that was educational. All that was education, still addressing my weaknesses of being everywhere. And that itself makes my strength, which is driving towards one goal, stronger. Because after 3 months, when I've done the research, I have the perfect timing for cryptocurrencies. I put lots of money in it. And guess what? 10x at least. As I was telling you before, guys, CRO is the 8 cryptocurrencies in my portfolio that 10x this year. And I have 2 cryptocurrencies that 100x. All right. So that's how I achieve my goals. Earlier this year, guys, my net worth was negative. My net worth this year was negative because of my debt. Now I'm very close to a six-figure net worth, right? And next year, one of my goals next year is to be like well over six figures net worth, right? So that's basically what I would advise you guys. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Natasha. I was the exact same way, and my advice to you is embrace your weaknesses, identify your weaknesses. If you don't know them, if you're struggling with them, go check out the I'll show you. I have a video on that, but Strength Finder 2.0. If you early 30s, late 20s, um if you early 20s, like me, honestly, I did that. I wish I did that when I was 16 years old. My life would have been so different if I knew my strengths and weaknesses at the age of um 16 years old. So, and I think any age is a great age to do this test. But if you're in your 30s, you haven't done it, I think this is a must. You cannot afford not to do it. All right. I'm going to show you a video, and I'll add the link on the description as well. But it's a review of the Strength Finder 2.0 that I've done. So you can actually check it out. Check the review if you like what you're seeing. I encourage you, put the money in and do the test. It's something that will stay with you for the rest of your life. It will guide you in your career. It will help you make better decisions. It will help you understand how to leverage your strengths. It will help you to understand how to leverage your strengths to fight your weaknesses. And as I was telling you guys, I was telling this idea to a psychologist, and he was telling me, man, this is one of the her best thing he heard, and he was actually going to give that advice to his own clients. So I don't want to brag, but I'm just saying, like, it's something that is you should at least pay attention to. All right, so just to share my screen really quick, give me a second. There you go. Let's see how it goes. There you go. So I have this video here. It's called How to Live Up to Your Full Potential, Strength Finder 2.0. So I'll copy this link here and I'll put it on the chat. Sorry, guys, I'll come into the chat. I'm just going to drop this, but that's definitely something I would encourage you guys to do. Go check out this video, guys, if you haven't done so already. If you haven't done the test, right? If you haven't done the test, go check out and do the test. And yes, it's a lifetime, guys. Like, it's going to stay with you for a lifetime. It's going to tell you who you are. This is the combination of this test is once, kind of like once every 33 million, I think. So there can only be one out of 33 million that can have the match that you have, right? So it's very unique. For you to find someone else that has the exact same top 5 strengths as you might have to go through 60 million people before you find 2 people with the exact same traits as the top 5 strengths that this test does. So definitely check it out. Strength Finder 2.0. I know, sorry, I have a weird face making here, but somewhere in the link, I'm pretty sure I have like more descriptions about it. So go Google Strength Finder 2.0, go on the website, do the test, and then that's definitely my advice to you guys. All right. So give me a second. Give me a second. So I hope that really helps you out, because trust me, I've been there too. All right. What's up? What's up, DJ Flip? Thank you for coming here, DJ Flipping. I hope you're flipping them cryptos, man. Just like you're flipping them spinning disc. I don't know if you use spinning disc, but shout out to you, DJ Flip. Again, guys. If you're new here, I'm going to do a call-in show at some point later tonight, and the goal is to call in so that you can share with us. You don't have to come up. Ideally, I would prefer you guys come up. I can actually see you guys. But just to have good audio, make sure you connect on your phone with the headphones if you want. Just clean audio alone would be good. And I want to have a discussion with you guys so that I can understand what is your roadblocks. What have stops you from achieving your goals or so far, and yes, what can we do so that we can improve that by next year, 2022? What is, because now it's the time to set up your plans to achieve your goals, right? So that January hits, first week of January, you go all in, and then you achieve your goals. But until then, now let's strategize that. Let's run some simulation on what actions will lead to which results, and then make sure that we can have a plan. So call in show tonight. Just let me go through a couple points, and then I'll put the link so that you can call in, and then we'll go from there. So, uh, um, thank you very much. Yes, this is a OG shirt. If you guys are for my old subscribers, you probably seen me with many shirt like this. I mean, I used to use this shirt as the way to do thumbnails. That was before I came up with wealth engineering. And again, I told you guys I was obsessed with Teslas, and I was one of the very first one to reserve a Model 3. But after I started my business and all the startups, I actually decided not to opt in for my Tesla Model 3. Instead, using that money to invest it. And to be honest with you guys, I'm happy with this decision. Although I regret not having a Tesla Model 3, I'm happy with this decision because now it's everything that I've learned from making that decision. Investing my money is what's helping me achieving my financial goal this year. All right. So again, guys, happy Roy. I think I haven't seen you in this chat before. Rory Davis. We have the same type of personality, except I'm not future oriented. Um, very good. Well, you don't necessarily have to be future oriented to achieve a financial goal, right? Because to be honest with you, whether you're future oriented or not, you need to be worried about your future at some point. Otherwise, you'll die. I mean, otherwise you'll retire, and you won't retire, right? You'll be 80, and you'll be working at McDonald's. That's assuming they will want to hire 80 years from now, right? Maybe 40 years from now. Who knows? Because we're heading towards the metaverse. We're heading towards like drones delivery. We're heading towards a world where humans are actually going to be a liability on the work, on the factories, on everywhere. We're going to have AI. We're going to have cryptocurrencies that's going to be more efficient. A lot of these jobs that we're currently doing right now and we're taking for granted will actually be automated. And then computers and AI will do it much better than us, guys. So I would say you're not future oriented, fine. But for your own survival, for your own comfort, you need to be. You have to be. You have to be. And if you don't, if that's one of your weakness, what can you do? Well, one of your strengths is if you say you have the same personality type as me, one of your strengths can actually be you're an activator, you're a driver, you're a go-getter, right? You're a go-getter. Go find a community that is future oriented so that you can leverage their strengths and then learn from them, right? You know you're not future oriented, and you know you need to be if you want to have comfort. And because as I say, it's either you're going to be rich or it's either you're going to be poor. There is no middle class anymore. And trust me, 10 years from now, you will see exactly what I'm saying. So how can you leverage your strengths? Go get her, go find a community that is future oriented, go sign up to many of them, read, listen, and you're slowly going to get that mentality, and you're going to make investments based on that future oriented, right? And the Discord, that's what we do, man. To be an investor, to be a great investor, you have to be able to factor the future and predict the future and bet on the future, right? And that's how you make money. So trust me, on the future, we got you. And when you have when you if you go on a Discord and you're part of the exclusive club, I think you'll I don't know if there is anyone on my Discord that is here in the chat. Let me know. Well, you guys know exactly what I mean when I say, "Hey, we look deep into the future, man." So anyway, well, I hope that helps. And again, if you want to call in later, Roaring Davis, I'll add the link soon. Not too long from now, but you can call in and let me know more about that. We can have a discussion about it. All right. Rory Davis, no worries. Peter M. Question. That's it. Do you write down your goals, target, date, and milestone reach? Do you have a mathematical formula to follow you to achieve them? I don't have. We'll get to that. That's one of the things I was going to mention. Uh, put a timeline on your goals. Yes, the milestone. I'm going to get to that. Just give me a second. But yeah, great question right here. But mathematical formula. That's not my personality type, but I think I know what you mean, and some people that can help them. But to be honest, discipline. I think that's the only that's the only formula you need. Discipline that will help you get there. Um, Good for you, JC. A way to turn it around with your network. Thank you very much. Um, Peter M. Good evening. Let me see what's going on here. 27 to 1,000 subscribers. Yes, man. Yes. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. We're heading there, and hopefully we can get there by before January 1st. That's the goal, and then hopefully we get there. Very excited. Thank you very much, Bones. If you want to call in later, I'll leave the link too, and let us know. And please hit the like button as you come in. It really helps with the algorithm. It really helps. So with that said, guys, let's move forward. So as I said, if you're just coming here, um, we were talking about things you need to know before you achieve your financial goals. You need to basically think big, you start small. You don't need to also know your strengths and your weaknesses and use your strengths to fight your weaknesses. You want to minimize your weaknesses. You want to basically embrace your weaknesses, but find ways to limit their, because the weaknesses will affect your wealth, right? So they will affect your goals. So try to find ways to limit their impacts, but still understand that they're here to stay, right? So other things I want to talk about is, well, if you want to achieve your financial goals for 2022, an obvious thing to say is, what are your financial goals? Simple, right? What are your financial goals? Because and to be honest with you, there's many people who don't know. There's many people who know that, I don't know, like, I want to retire. Okay, so that's pretty general. What does that mean? You want to be retired? Let's come up with a mathematical formula, right? Let's come with a mathematical formula for this. What does it mean? What is the formula for being retired? And being retired doesn't necessarily have to be your financial goal for 1 year, right? Because that's the other point. You need to have a realistic timeline to get to allow yourself to get to your goals. Because one of the things that will destroy your journey and make you quit on your journey is being disappointed for too long, not being able to achieve your goals. Very important, guys. Very important. You need to have realistic goals and work towards achieving them in a realistic timeline, so that you don't think too much and then you're being disappointed when you don't get your goal and you give it up all, because the give up part is the worst thing you could do in your financial journey. It's the worst thing you can do, to give up, all right, and then not go anywhere. But so one of the things you need to do is define your goals. Find, just like you mentioned earlier, right? Peter M investor, Peter investor M. Write down your goals. What are they? And don't tell me you want to retire. Everyone wants to retire. What does it mean? What is the mathematical formula for you to be retired? Hmm? If you want to retire, the way you do it is you find your assets, and your assets needs to pay your liabilities. Now, one way to measure your liabilities is, how much do you pay per month? Do you have to spend 3,000 a month? Do you have to spend 4,000 a month? Rent might be half of that money, 1,500, 2,000 a month. Then you have groceries, cell phones, insurance, etc. Right? Now, I was doing pretty good. I reduced my living expenses very low, but now next year, starting January, I'm going to have to pay daycare, man. I'm going to have to increase my budget by another 100%. Yeah, because I find ways to live up on a low budget, and 1,500 can pay basically all my expenses. 1,500. With 1,500, if I was keeping the same lifestyle, all I need is an asset that pays me 1,500 a month without selling the asset, and then I can retire. But starting next year, I'm going to have to raise my monthly budget to $3,000. Why? Because I have to pay $1,500 in daycare. Man, kids are expensive. But man, hey, I don't want to say it, but a kid is a liability. But this is a liability that I always wanted to have. So, yes, taxes. Taxes are other liabilities. Great point. Let me see what else is going. Um, can't wait to start setting up my super chat. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Me too, man. I can't wait to, not necessarily for the money part, but that's something I enjoy doing. I enjoy super chatting in channels that I love, that I want to contribute to the content. And so yes, I can't wait to see you guys super chatting so I can read your comments. It makes it so much easier, by the way, when there is a comment being super chat. Just going through the comments like that, it's a bit harder, but I want to acknowledge as many as you. So whenever you find a good solution, the government cash flow hunter, man. Hey, man, I'm looking for lands in the Cayman Islands, man. If you want to be my neighbor, my friend, let me know, man. Reach out to me on Discord. Let's talk about it, man. That way, the government's going to keep your money clean, my friend. This guy, man, cash flow hunter. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, man. Hey, I just released a video about that earlier this today. The government of Canada, they're talking about implementing that CBDC, central central bank digital currencies. So yes, 1 million a month. Oh man, no, 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 this is not realistic, my friend. A million a month, that's the big dream, right? We were talking earlier. Think big, fine. You want to do 1 million a month? That's basically 12 million a year in income. Now, what's the realistic way of you doing that next year? Come on, my friend. Come on. I mean, is it impossible? Absolutely not. But how many people can do that in 1 year? Out of the world, that's the 0.0001%, man, that can do that in 1 year, starting from nothing to 12 million a year in 1 year. That's, man, you're gonna have to put the work. So it's not just about saying it. What can you do to provide value? Think of it this way. Let's say you had $1 worth of value to provide to the world. You're going to have to find 1 million people every month that is willing to buy that value from you for $1 for you to make $1 million a month. Or maybe you want to find 100,000 people and then provide $10 worth of value to them and that they're willing to pay for it, right? Or it could be 1,000 people and then they're willing to pay 1,000 people. Now, guess what? The work you're going to do to get the 1,000 people to pay you $1,000, it's almost the same work that it is to find 1 million people to pay you $1. Funny is, you have to put the work. Either way, you have to put the work. You have to learn about marketing. You have to be investing to reach out to as many people as possible. You have to be good at copywriting, converging the impressions into actionable sales, right? You have to learn about all that and you have to apply it. And you have to have an appealing product, even if it's $1, for them to spend their $1 to you instead of super chatting, for example. So yeah, good luck. So that would be your plan. That would be your idea. Fine. You want to go $1 million? Fine. That what can you do to get there? Right? You're not going to do that in crypto. It's not like it can't be done, but if you're starting with like less than $1,000 and then you want to get to $1 million a month, no, you're not gonna be doing that in cryptocurrencies. Comfortable retirement equal interest rate 5% draw down on the passive income. Now, great point. This is the traditional mindset when it comes to retired comfortable retirement. Now, I don't disagree with it. If you want to go there, go for it. But here's what I prefer, and again, to each their own. But me, this is where I encourage. I like that you don't take any of your principal, right? Because if you say interest rate 5%, drawdown on passive income to the power of two, man, you're talking about formula, right? But I don't want to go through all that. Let's say you have an asset, your portfolio is a dividend portfolio, or it's a staking portfolio. And I made a stream about staking. And basically, don't forget, for you guys who don't know, staking is simply the ability to lend your cryptocurrencies for rewards for an interest rate. So you can get paid 10% a year, 20% a year. Some stake can even give you 40% a year. So look into that, guys. I made a stream about staking from A to Z, what you need to know and how you can get started. So check it out. But yeah, so what I would do is I would build a portfolio right? Either staking, either dividends, a mix of two. And then I would like these portfolios to pay me my minimum living expenses. So next year, I'm going to have $3,000 in living expenses. So I would like my portfolio to pay me at least $3,000. I like to say $2,100. So that way I have more money than I need for that month to pay my living expenses, and I don't have to sell my principal, right? Now I don't need uh interest rate at 5% to the power of two to get there. I can just buy assets, especially in the cryptocurrencies. You can get them very cheap. And as they appreciate over time, then that rewards also gets appreciated over time. There used to be a time earlier this year, every week, I used to get $5 from CRO, from crypto.com, from staking my credit card. Now, now I get $50 per week from CRO. Why? It's the same investment that I made. I didn't add any more dollars, but it appreciated over time. And then now it's worth $1 or close to it. And I'm getting $50 a week instead of $5. That's just from the 10% rewards from my investment. So that's what I like to do. I would like that $50 to increase to be 3,000. And then we're talking, right? That way I don't even have to calculate anything. I don't sell my investment. My net worth is stable, right? It's not depending on me selling my assets. I can live off the dividends, and the dividends I can sell those and then pay my expenses, right? And if I can get that consistently for 6 months, then I know it works. And if it appreciates over time, then it also works. And that's how you would get to the retirement part. But can you get there? Can you get there in 2022? That's the real question. Maybe you can't get there in 2022, but maybe you can at least put the seed. You can maybe start a portfolio that maybe by 5 years from now, that portfolio will be worth millions, and then that will pay you at least $3,000-$4,000 a month without selling it, right? So at least that's a more achievable goal. You can do the timeline, a realistic timeline for that goal, as opposed to coming up with coming up with a little bit unrealistic numbers. But if you're willing to put the work, my friend, go ahead and do it. Daycare is no joke, man. No children for me, and yet gotta be ready. Yeah, man, you gotta be ready, man. If you have a girlfriend, you don't know, my friend, so anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. But for us, it was planned, right? We waited a long time to have kids. I knew my wife since she was like 19, 20, right? Now she's like a year younger than me and 34. We got married when she was 27. So we waited long enough. So it was that time for her, that biological clock. So she was every time I was coming home, she was looking at the clock. He was looking at the clock, man. I got the message. You have to understand. Shout out to you, sir, Josue Nicola. I haven't seen you here before. Let me know, how did you find the channel? Was it a link somewhere posted, or was it recommended to you? Let me know in the chat. Nice to see you here. And again, guys, we're going to have the call-in show soon. Costa Rica, Cayman Island, great place for crypto millionaire. Absolutely. I'm looking into Puerto Rico as well. I know a couple of them that are there already. In terms of networking, Puerto Rico is best, but Cayman Island, I'm looking at the lens, man. I'm looking at the lens. I might make a move next year. Actually, I wanted to travel this year to go see one, but they're increasing the restrictions to travel again, man. It's a problem. It's a problem. I may have to buy the lane without even seeing it. Yeah, man. J Bones, you're right. All right, guys. So, what are the points that you need to do? So, first, we talked about it. You need to define your goals, guys. Define your goals, make it a realistic goals, and then have a timeline for this goal. If you have a realistic goal, come up with a realistic timeline to achieve this goal. It could be. It doesn't necessarily have to be a retire. For example, let's say you want to be retired. You need to make 3,000 a month, right? 3,000 or 4,000 a month to retire from your portfolio. Fine. Now, how much that portfolio needs to be worth? Let's say it needs to be worth $3 million for you to achieve dividends of 4,000 a month, right, or 3,000 a month. Fine, you know that. So that's the bigger picture. That's the big picture. Now, what are the steps you can take to achieve the big picture? Well, maybe you can start with 50,000. Try to save 50,000 for this year. And I know 50,000 might sound crazy, but you may not be able to save 50,000, but you may be able to save, let's say, 5 and 10,000 and turn that into 50,000, right? And you can definitely do that in cryptocurrencies. You can easily do 10,000 to 100,000. And trust me, I've done it. I've done it. So, so you can do that. So, and that you can do it in 1 year. And that's why I make a lot of content about crypto, guys, because you can leverage crypto to achieve your goals. And if you get to 100,000, right? You can wait for the stable coin to, you can wait for the bear market to settle down. After you reinvest your cryptocurrencies, and that $100,000, all you have to do is 10x, then you get to a million, and then you double that, and then you get to 2 million. If you get to 1.5 and you double that, you get to your goal, right? So the first part is the hardest part, is to save that initial $10,000. And that's going to require discipline, it's going to require drive, it's going to require a lot of things from you, but you can leverage the market to help you achieve your goals, right? As you put in your money in your portfolio every month, then you can also buy smart investments focusing on the future, investment that we provide on the Discord, on the exclusive Discord, guys. And guys, again, we're getting a lot of members. I'm going to stop the lifetime deal, right? So if you guys don't know, I'm doing a lifetime deal for all the channel on my Discords, for one payment, and you get a lifetime deal. After January, I mean, after December, in January, is going to switch to a monthly subscription on Patreon, right? So for you to have the same service, if you pay 6 months on Patreon, you would basically have the equivalent of what you currently have right now, which is the same price, but it would give you the entire lifetime deal ever. You won't have to pay anymore. So something, if you take advantage of it while it's there, and we're providing value, guys, we're providing contents, we're providing research. I pay people to research cryptocurrencies, to find trends, to find crypto that are about to blow up every day and every week. So guys, don't miss this out. I provide the information everywhere, so make sure you don't miss it, guys. So, yes, leverage the market to help you achieve your goals. And that you can do in 2022. Why? Because we're not done with the bull market yet in the cryptocurrency world. We still have another leg. And I think it's going to last until May, June. But everything about the cryptocurrency, guys, it's timing. Now is the best timing to load up on your cryptocurrencies. Load up. If you want to make a plan for this 2022, find out exactly what amount of money you want to settle down. Let's say $50,000, realistic numbers, and then try to save at least $10,000 from your income. Do a side job if you have to, and then put more money in, and then start making investments that can possibly 5x your income. Right? That's all you need to do. 5x your income under cryptocurrencies, and trust me, there's plenty of cryptocurrencies that can do that by the end by June, right? And that we had a dip earlier to this week. This is the best timing to buy cryptocurrencies at a cheap price before they start blowing up in January. All right. So leverage it. That's what I'm saying, guys. Make the plan, start thinking about 2022, and go from there. Now, let's say you don't know how much money you need to save. Well, you can do, they say you can go on Google and it'll tell you um, how much money should you be saving by your age. If you're 30 years old, you should have at least about $65,000 saved, right? Trust me, when I was 30 years old, I had $7,000 saved. So you don't feel bad if you're not there. If you're 40 years old, you need to have about $350 saved. If you're 50 years old, you need to have $600,000 saved. And if you're 60 years old, you need to have a 650. These are like generic numbers, but to me they don't mean much, because with inflation, that 650 you would save at 60 can be like almost half, right? Can be almost worth half. Like, think about it this way: if in Toronto now you have 650, you can barely find a condo to buy.
I'm talking about like a 500, 600 square feet condo, one bedroom condo, rare to find for 650 in downtown Toronto, man. That's like $800,000 for like 650 square feet, 700 square feet. So, and if you buy, let's say you were able to find a condo to buy, well, that doesn't include parking. The parking is another extra $100,000 for a parking spot, right? And not including the tax, not including the maintenance fees that you would get for that condo, then you're out of your budget. All that money is gone. You spent years saving it. You're 60-year-old, you have 650, and then you spent all that in a condo that you will leave alone. You need to hire people to deliver your food, to come up giving you. If you're old, you're going to need like healthcare. So you're going to have people coming to your apartment to help you. So this is not enough, guys. This is not enough. That's what, if you go on Google, that's what they'll tell you. They'll tell you, you know what, 60 years old, you need to have $650,000 saved. No, you need to have $600,000 saved when you're 40. That's the way you should look at it. You should have $600,000 saved when you're 40, right? And and guys, it's not impossible. If you leverage innovation, you leverage cryptocurrencies, you can get there. There is one bull run every 4 years. It's like a leap year. Shout out to Semsia. He mentioned that the other day. It's like a leap year. One bull run every 4 years. And these bull runs, that's how you turn from barely five figures into $1 million portfolio. If you know what you're doing, if you invest long enough in the bear market, that's where you load up. You apply that same discipline, you save as much money as possible, and when the bull run happens, your entire portfolio just go up, 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 and away. And trust me, man, next bull run, that is my time. This is my timeline. My timeline is 4 years from now, regardless of what I'm doing, I need to be to the retiring phase. I think I can achieve it less than time than that, but I'm giving myself 5 years to achieve this goal from where I'm at right now. Right, that is a realistic time because where I'm at right now, I have a portfolio with like my portfolio is worth in the six figures. So therefore, I can achieve, let's say, 2 million on the next bull run if I invest smart enough. Because what I'm going to do in these years coming, 2022, 2023, and 2024, my goal will be to find projects that can 10x and 100x and have a hefty size on them, not $1,000 per position. I'm talking at least $10,000 per position, getting ready for the next bull run, right? And imagine I can put $100,000 in one position and it 10x, that's $1 million. 20x, 2 million. And 20x, man, on cryptocurrencies on a bull run, that can happen very easy. It can happen in 45 days. So that's what you're looking for, guys. That's what I'm saying. Leverage the market, guys. Find the best tool to do the job. We had a stream about that. That's what I mean. All right. So work on that. Work on saving your money. Work on plans. Find out a number that you want to stick to. My goal last year was to get to a six-figure portfolio. I achieved that. My goal next year will be to be on six-figure net worth after I pay off all my debt. Good. I think I should achieve this by June, but I given myself the entire year to do it. And in my couple years from now, my goals are be retired in this goal. I don't want to reach 40 years old and still be working or still having to work. If I'm working at the age of 40, it's because I want to work, not because I have to. That's my goal. I'm 35 right now. I'm turning 36 in February. So yes, I have, and again, just in time for the next bull run. Just in time for the next bull run. So that's my goal. All right. The other thing I'm going to work on this year is increasing my credit score. And maybe that's a goal that you need to do too, because the higher your credit scores, the better rates you can get, and you can actually leverage those rates to make more income. You can use debt and to invest in smart investments that can 10x. You pay off your debt, and then you have everything else as profit that can help you reach your goal faster. This year, this is something I'm going to do this year. The reason why I couldn't do it before is because as I was doing many things, startups, I was doing real estate investment. I destroy a lot of my credit, right? I didn't have a job, so I had to work and I had to like sell, and I had to like do Uber. It was a lot of my income that was inconsistent last 2 years ago. So I'm still paying off for that. And one of the things that it was affected was my credit score. So now my credit score is just below 700. But next year, that is definitely something I'm going to do. I'm going to pass from like I think it's 650 right now, so I can go from 650 to 750 within the year, and I think that's possible. I can do it. I just have to like work on it. But right now, I'm focusing one thing. I'm focusing on increasing that portfolio size and leveraging that last leg of the bull run. To be honest with you, my secret strategy right now, my secret project is how can I turn that $100,000 into a million within the next leg of the bull run. That's literally what I'm trying to do. But this is this is something that's not necessarily going to happen, but it could happen. So I'm leaving the option open. But I know my timeline is by 40 years old, I need to be retired. That is the non-negotiable timeline. Now I'm trying to see what else can I do to get there. All right, so I think that I'm going to leave the link, guys. And last point I'll make, if you are in your 20s, guys, if you are in your 20s, I think I saw the comment very quickly. What about under 24 years old? Great question. Actually, that was my last point. So that is going to address you very well. If you are in your 20s, and trust me, I know I was there, your incomes is going to be a low income. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. It's going to be a low income. And it's also going to fluctuate. You're not going to have a consistent income every year. I think as a student, the highest I've made was 27,000 in a year. That's the highest I've made as a student. And I had two jobs. I had two jobs and I had school and I made 27,000. So not that smart. But guess what? That is more than enough to get to. If I knew what I know now and I was making $27,000 a year as a student working two jobs, it would not take me 5 years to be a millionaire. I'm You guys think I'm joking, man. Well, knowing what I know now, the decisions I would have made, even if it's $100, even if it's $100 that is my budget to put on my long-term portfolios, even with that $100, I would turn it into minimum. I told you guys when I started $500, I turned it in $22,000 in 9 months, trading one stocks, and I made three trades. Three trades. It's all about timing. You need to understand the timing and you need to leverage it. And right now, guys, there is a great timing on my Discord. And trust me when I say we talk about we talk about cryptocurrencies. We trying to get ready for the next thing the next thing that's going to blow up. When the metaverse blew up, we were there. We're already getting ready for the next thing before the masses. That's how you leverage timing. I'm telling you, even with $100 you want to start with, it can bring you a long way. Safe Moon. I put $300 on Safe Moon. It turned into $20,000 in 1 month. $20,000 in crypto is a lot of money because that $20,000 can easily become $200,000 in 45, 60 days. So, guys, no excuse. I don't want to hear it. Your income is low. Go to Uber. In a one weekend, you can get $300. Invest that money in something smart. If you are under 20 years old, this is the time for you to be risky. If you are living with your parents, you're not paying rent, right? Just make sure you tell your mom that you love her very much. That's how you get free rent. All right. Not only are you going to get free rent, you're going to get free food. I don't want to hear you guys are saying, hey, I'm 20 years old. I'm an adult. I need to live on my own. No, man. No. Try to stay as long as possible at your mom's house, man. What? You want to leave alone to impress girls? Nah, man. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about girls for now, man. Well, stay with your mom. Tell her you love her. You know, clean the bathroom if you have to, man. She'll know you love her. And then get that free rent, get that free food. Put that money in cryptocurrencies. If you're 20, I have some risky projects for you, and that's where you go. And the risky projects, guys, that they are the 100x potential. That not all of them will 100x, but but some of them will. And when there is a trend in the entire sector, everything goes up. So projects like that, the risky ones, will be. So you can afford to risk $300 if you're in the 20s because you have your entire life to get that $300 back. At 40, at 50 years old, at 60, you can afford to lose $20,000 and $30,000 in cryptocurrencies because you got to worry about retiring and every little bit help. So at that age, people will be a lot more conservative and it's understandable. But if you're in your 20s and from your 20s all the way to your 40s, guys, this is the time to abuse it. 20, 25, from 20 to 25, I would say 90% of your cryptocurrency, 90% of your investment should be in risky. 10%, 10% like conservative, very conservative, but 90% risky. Once you pass 25, put it back to 70. So you put 30% of your portfolio conservative, the rest risky. And then once you reach 30, you're like 50-50. And then every year after that, you reduce that risky to until you get to a point where by the time you're 40, okay, by the time you're 40, you need to have 70% of your portfolio in conservative investments. Think of it as blue chips, stable coins, for example, and then 30% risky. And then you head towards. But if you start early in your by the time you're 25 and you're in crypto, you will not wait until you're 40 to be retired. Impossible. Not you will need two bull run at the most. Two bull runs at the most. That's 8 years. But if you do it well and if you do it disciplined enough, if you put a lot of money in the bear market, you buy cryptocurrencies. Let's say you buy only 5 cryptocurrencies that can have the potential to 10x, and you buy 4 that has the potential to 10x, you buy one that have the potential to 100x. You will do it in 1 year. If you have 3 years to save up and buy only 5 cryptocurrencies, next bull run, man, if 3 out of 5 pays off, you will get you to your goal. So I don't want to hear any excuse, man. Like I said, if I was at that same age and I was doing it all over again, trust me, I would invest in education. I would invest into a system that can provide information, high quality information at the price that I can afford. And man, I don't want to, I'm not trying to force you to buy my course, but right now, guys, a lifetime deal, if you pay for the course, is that opportunity. If there is one thing I would do, I would basically try to get a lifetime deal for my Discord and pay that. Because I know that even if I don't have the money next 2 months, but at least I have the information I can access at any time. And then work on Uber, do $350 in a weekend, go to school on doing Monday, Friday, Uber, Saturday, Sunday, Friday night. People are going out. They want Uber on their ride home after the bar. You do that, you're gonna get $300 a month, a week. That $200, you start your investing portfolio. And if you're under 25, go risky, man. This bull run right here, don't let it go. You still have another 5 months, 6 months to go. So we haven't seen the real blow up yet of a bull run. We're going to see that in the first half of 2022. This is the time you put your money in cryptocurrencies and you leverage the market. And at the end of the bull run, you get out. Because at that age, you can afford to kind of like, you don't have enough money to kind of like wait it out and stable. You get out and then you wait for the market to stabilize and you go back in, right? That's what I would do if I was 24. My Airbnb. Oh, you do have a. That's man. Let's talk about it, man. I might. I might go to Toronto at some point. So maybe I can sign up to your Airbnb, man. My Airbnb in Toronto last month was 1,300 for 1 week. Ooh. 1,300 for 1 week. Wow. I thought I was back in man. I believe you, man. And Toronto, man, right now is very expensive, guys. So $650,000 you save at 60 years old, you're gonna have to move countries, man, because you can't stay in Toronto. So Toronto's crazy, guys. Gotta talk to the mayor, JC. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Yes, man. Reach out, guys. Um, Josue Nicolas, what's going on? Good evening. Yes, man. Did you say something else earlier? Um, I am part of the Discord. Oh, really? Oh, I know. Okay, yes, man. Nice to see you, man. Please tell them, man. Tell them. I'm telling you guys, one of the problems we have on the Discord right now, we have too many opportunities that can 10x and 100x. We just don't know which one to choose, man. We don't have enough cash for all of these opportunities, man. And trust me, man, we are very focused on the future. So, guys, don't miss that deal. Lifetime deal, lifetime access to the Wealth Engineering Group for the exclusive clubs. And then you're going to get information before the masses, just because I put money into. I spent $14,000 to pay people to access information, and I was supposed it was supposed to be 16,000, but I'm having problem with token metrics right now, and they're having problem with their apps, and it doesn't work on my computer. So I'm still working out with the customer service when they get back after the holidays, not holidays, but time off for the Black Friday and all that. But tonight I'm going to start all over again with a new account and see if I can get it to work. But at any time in the next 5 days, I'm going to spend another $3,000. Actually, no, $2,000 to get more information, to get access to that AI I was telling you about. So that's going to help us better time our projects. So I spend a lot of money to educate and get information, because that's how you oil that machine. That's how you put oil on that machine that pumps you out good results, good investments, and go from there. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to read more comments, but before I do that, I'm going to invite some of you guys if you want to join in. Again, the subject tonight is how to achieve your financial goal, and I want to you guys to identify your roadblocks. What is stopping you uh, what is stopping you from achieving your roadblock? A GC Discord is very busy. I don't believe you actually are in an exclusive yet. Trust me. Trust me, you haven't seen busy, my friend. Get on the exclusive, my friend. You'll see exactly what busy looks like. And but with token matrix, it's going to help us a lot, kind of like decipher all this information that we're getting so that we can make better decisions. So you don't want to miss that, man. If you can, join in on that. So I'm going to put the invite link here on the chat, and then you guys can join in. And the subject tonight is basically identifying your roadblocks that stops you from reaching your financial goals so far, and what can we do about them in 2022 so that we can get to your financial goals. So again, if you want to come and put the camera on, it's up to you. Perfect, I would prefer that, but if not, it's okay. We can just the audio alone. If you have an headphones, like a headphones wired plug to your phone, just click on the link, and it will link you straight up right here, and you can yes, guys, you can join in, call in the call. It's a call-in show today, and I'm very excited to have you guys here, and we can talk about it further. Like, because hey, it's an important topic. You need to do what's required to achieve your goals. You need to have the work, but if you can plan ahead of 2022, then you can start straight from January 1st, January 2nd, and you put your plan to work, guys. Put your plan to work, and you go from there. All right, so let me before while we wait for more people to call in. So I just add the link. You just have to click on the StreamYard link. It's going to be pinned. And while we wait for more people to join in, let me go to the comment and see. So I hope I address your questions, Aaron B. If you're under 24 years old, I understand you have low incomes, but this is where you want to take full advantage on the market to multiply that income the fastest possible. And cryptocurrencies is not something you want to look away from. Cryptocurrencies can definitely help you get there. I had my little cousins earlier this year, barely put $300. Now, like within 2 weeks, it was 3,000, and they were trading that. And now I have to reach out to them to see how how they're doing. But hey, they had the same issues too. Part-time jobs, couldn't consistently have incomes. $300 was enough for them to. They sign up early on my course, right? It's because they sign up early. They didn't have to pay the $300, but now that's the price. And next month it's going to be a different price. So enjoy that while it's there. Don't miss out that. If there is one thing you do, I would say invest on the course, because once you do that, when you're ready, you're going to have tons and tons of opportunity you can choose from, and a lot of them can 10x. You can do swing trading, you can do day trading. Now I'm doing swing trading to help fund my long-term portfolio, because that's the only way I can pay off for it, because it's just every day, man. Every day I have tons of projects I want to invest in. So I have to find a system that allows me to fund to buy all that, right? So I hope that that answers your question. Let me see. God willing, indeed, man. Yes, yes, yes. You gotta achieve this goal. Please hit the like button, guys. Please hit the like button and call in, guys. If you want to call in, talk about achieving your goals. What are your goals for 2022? How can we achieve them? I'll wait for you guys. I wanna see. I wanna talk to you guys today. Um, what's good, Wealth Engineering, Well Talk. Hey, do you want to call in? You want to call in and talk about it? About your financial goals for 2022? Call in if you're still here. Let me see. Also depend on how much you invest in crypto. I disagree, man. I disagree. Look, it's not about how much you invest, it's about what is the percentage of return. What is your ROI? What is the return on your investment? That's what matters. That is what matters. Because you can put $100. If you 10x that, that's $1,000. If you 100x that, that's $10,000. Now at 24, $10,000 in your portfolio, you got money. At 24, if you still live with your mom and you have $10,000 in your portfolio, that's money. I told you guys, I have 8 cryptocurrencies this year that 8x. So let's say you didn't put. I started at there is a portfolio I started that was 3,000. There was another one that was 7,000. So overall, before the bull one, I had $10,000 in portfolio. Let's say you didn't have $10,000 at the beginning of the bull run, but you had $100. And I'm telling you that that portfolio overall is basically 10x, right? So it's not the amount that you started with, it's the percentage, the return on your investment. Any year that you do 100, like 10x, it's a great achievement, because most markets will give you what, 6%, 10%, 12%, 30% a year. So for you to make 1,000% in 1 year, that's a great achievement, regardless of the amount that you put to start. Try to get that first. Understand how it's done, understand the mechanics of that, and try to replicate exactly that. That's how you get it. First, you have to do it. As you're doing it, you'll learn. You'll learn how to do it. Then you replicate that. So don't worry if you're 24, if you're below 24, if you're in your 20s, don't worry about the amount. At this age, that's not something you have anyway. So why worry about something you don't have? Don't worry about it. Worry about the percentage of return, ROI. Get that. Try to understand that, because when you get older, that money will come from your job. And if you can replicate that over and over again, man, you're in the 1%. You see? But it takes time, it takes skills, It takes discipline, it takes mental fortitude, and it takes emotional control to be able to achieve a goal like that. And that takes time. You can have a coach, you can have a financial mentor to help guide you through it, but it still will take some time. A coach and a mentor will help you get there faster. Regardless, there is still some work that you have to do. If you do the work before the money comes, when the money comes, you'll be ready to multiply that income that you're getting. So it's not about the initial capital that you have to start. And trust me, if you leverage a bull run, you can turn $100 into many dollars. Safe Moon. You had invest in Safe Moon earlier this year. I put $300. My brother made $54,000 of $300 on Safe Moon. He invested one day earlier than me. One day earlier than me, he made double, slightly more than double that I made. I made 20, he made 54. One day. I told you guys, I waited 3 weeks to invest in Shiba. Hemi, he had that was his gamble money, right? The long term portfolio was already set up. Yeah, that was his gamble money. So as soon as the news came out, he just put the money there. How did the news came out? The Discord guys. The Discord guys. The news came the same day. My brother put like $3,000 on Shiba. Very early. I'm talking about March, April, guys. That $3,000, guys, you don't want to know how much it is now. He doesn't want me to tell people how much it is now. But man, all I gotta say, that $3,000 almost put him into the $1 million range. So, and he sold some of it, but guess what? He's retiring. Yesterday, Friday, was his last day in his job. That wasn't his goal earlier this year. He didn't plan on quitting his job on earlier this year. But guess what? He leveraged the bull run, put some money in. It happens. First half of the bull run, he already quit his job. Now, if he's already continuing the work in the next half of the bull run, who knows? Who knows? He might be officially retiring and just living off his portfolio. Right? That's what I'm saying. Secretly, that's the goal I'm doing too. But I'm giving my realistic time to do it. Peter M, you guys want to call in? Wally, you want to call in? Let me see. What are you guys doing? Absolutely. Yes, guys. Call in, call in. So the link I added earlier this year. Not the exclusive though. There, I'm there on the base. I know you aren't there on the basic. And the basic, if you think the basic is busy, I'm telling you, the basic is quiet. The exclusive is busy, my friend. Because man, we got so many opportunities, man. We don't know what to do with them. We have to. I don't know if he's here down in the chat. Shout out to Andy. Andy is having the same struggle as me. His guts is hurting. Every day we're seeing opportunity and we're like, oh man. But it drives us. It drives us to work part time, increase our net worth, swing trading, learning about swing trading. So yes, that's what keeps us motivated to increase our income fast so that we can invest fast and multiply that faster. So yes, again, once you're on mindset, you have other people in the same mindset as you. It really motivates you. It keeps you accountable. There's a bunch of things. There's a bunch of benefits that comes with that. But call in, guys. Hey, before the billion, shout out to you. Do you want to call in? And the subject today is basically the link is pinned on the chat. But we are talking about your goals, your financial goals for 2022, and also identifying your roadblocks so far. That is your roadblocks so far that you have, and how we can, and basically how we can overcome those roadblocks, right? So hey, I see someone in. I see someone in. So just give me a second. I'm going to load you in. I'm just going to go very quickly in the comments. No, he's not a millionaire. He's not a millionaire, but he was very close to that number earlier this year, and then now the market dips. So yes, but all I gotta say is I think he has a very good chance to get there by the end of the bull run. All right. So
How old did he become a millionaire? My brother is 2 years younger than me, so he's like 32. He's not a millionaire, but he's very close. He's very close. But yeah, he's 32 years old, and the reason why is because I made the mistakes, right? So I go talk to him. I'm like, this is guy, this is what I've done, right? This is what I've done. Don't do it. Do it that way. And I lost my job in 2022. He did not, and he listened to me straightforward. So, but in 2019, 2020, he put a lot of money in crypto alone, a lot of money. So that amount, boom, right? That already put them in the six figures. Now he took a little profit from that six-figure portfolio and then gamble it. So he still has his long term, his guarantee retirement in the next 4 years, and then his gambling money was the money that almost brought him to the million. So again, guys, don't mess up with the cryptocurrencies, guys. All right, so I see someone in. So I'm going to start. I'm going to have 1% at the time. So give me a second, Wally. But at some point we'll have both of you, and then we'll talk. But let me introduce to you guys before the billion. Shout out to you, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Very good, very good, good. I gotta say, man. I gotta say on record, man. I love you. I love your name. Before the billions. So
Thank
before
you
the
very
billions,
much.
you gotta put the work, but eventually, as we are talking earlier, you gotta think big and you gotta start small. Before the billion is always reminding you that hey, the big picture is the billion, and that's a great inspiration to have. So shout out to you for that, man.
Yeah, thank you for that. And that's alliteration. I like that. The big picture is the billions. I like that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Right.
So the subject to this tonight is to talk about your financial goals. So far, what would you say your financial goals are?
Yeah, so I have a financial goal every year that I
Mm,
want to increase my income by at least between a range of 3 to 10%. 10% being on the very high end, right?
okay.
Um, and that's because I work a corporate job. I'm a software developer or data engineer, interchangeable between those two. With that being said, um, every year I get some sort of pay raise
Mm,
through either, if I keep the same job, I get some sort of pay raise. Maybe it's a few dollars or something like that.
uh-huh.
I like to think of things in percentages.
Mhm.
So with that being said, if I get a new job, you can expect to make close to 10% of a pay raise. Um, depending on what area you live in and stuff like that. With that being said, now I'm looking for a new job, so hopefully they don't hear this. They don't hear this this live stream. But
No, well, I don't know
that
if
is
I'll
one of my
put this
goals.
private, but don't worry, don't worry. I'm not popular, man. I'm not even 100,000, 1K
I know
subscribers.
it's all right, man. It's all right.
So don't worry.
Uh, but yeah, so that's one of my goals. That's one of my financial goals that I have every single year is that I want to increase at least every single year by at least 3 to 10%. With
Mm,
that, I always want to save my money or invest it, right? So I always save my money. I do it automatically. So every time I get paid, I put a certain percentage into my savings account, and I put another percentage into my other savings account that I don't touch,
mm.
right? So this is for emergencies, and also for emergencies for one, and then trips for the other, right? So that's what I do for my financial goals. I want to save more, I want to invest more, and then I also want to make more. Those are my financial goals every year, but that's the range I always try to go to.
Absolutely, absolutely. I see WTP well talk production on the chat. So I'm going to invite him in. So just stay on the backstage, right? I'm going to ask both of you the same question, but I wanted to introduce him as well. So just stay there, all right? So
All right.
don't leave. So give me a second. So let's input WTP, which is Wealth Talk Production. How are you doing, sir? How are you doing?
What's going on, Wealth Engineer? I got past the for the billionaire though.
Yeah, you were like couple seconds just behind him,
Oh
just
man,
couple seconds behind him. So
it's
I had
good.
to
It's
go
good.
in
It's good.
order, man. It's
It's good. I'm
principle,
just
you know.
joking.
You have to
It's
go
a joke.
one
I'm
at a
just
time.
joking. I'm
Yeah, no
joking.
worries, man. No worries. So yes, the same question goes to you. What would you say are your financial goals for 2022, or have you even thought into that so far?
Honestly, I haven't thought of it, but at the same time, the only real financial goal is really just moving up, being able to
Mm,
move up. Because you already know there's no looking down from here on out. It's just only upwards. It's only upwards. But because this is mainly my main stick right now. Like this is the main thing
mm,
I do. Being on YouTube, trying to get the subscribers, trying to get the watch time hours, and build off of this because I'm morally needed home because
mm.
I have to watch two people that are disabled. So yeah.
Okay, okay, understood. So yes, well, moving up is a good way to track at it, but whatever that up means to you, it needs to be more than just a word. I need to
Well, yeah,
hear
I
like
know.
a number, right?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So
Because
so let's
that's
see. So you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but what numbers or just like before the million mentioned a percentage of growth that you're looking for? Is it 10%? Is it 100%? What are you looking to do by
if I'm
2020?
looking if I'm looking at a solid growth from where I'm at right now, 10 to 20%.
10 to 20%. Is that on your income or your YouTube goals, or what would it be?
My YouTube goals overall.
Okay, okay. 10 to 20%. Okay, that's fair. So I guess the next step after that is, what are your roadblocks? And I guess that's the other question I wanted to ask before the billion as well. So I'm going to add him back in the chat. And guys, I'm going to ask you the same questions. And I will start with you, Wally, Wealth Talk Production, WTP. But what would you say are your roadblocks so far that has blocked you from achieving that goal as of now? And you can start cooking. I'll just turn myself off for a moment. I have to fix something, but keep. I want to hear you, and I'm listening to you. So go ahead.
All right. So I would believe one of my roadblocks is just I'm brand new, right? I just got into this bad boy. Um, Other than that, I would say just being able to get out there. I think more likely so, there's not enough people that would actually care about my topic. So I know I need to diverse my topic just a little bit more and to be a little bit more relatable to people, I guess. Cause I know if anyone ever have a chance to ever look at my channel, I've made some hiccups here and there. So yeah, I really got to clean that up a little bit. And other than that, I have to a little bit sell a little bit more and be more productive. So yeah,
Mm. So
I'm
I
planning
guess you
on.
would say your roadblock is um, finding the time,
Yeah, it's mostly
the
timing. Yeah,
schedule, the
yeah,
rhythm to get you to that goal, right?
yeah. It's mostly timing and productivity. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And how about you before the billion? What would you say would be your roadblock to that? And I guess you're pretty like mechanical and analytical to your. So I guess your roadblock would be the job that you haven't found yet. But is there like other things that you could come up with that stops you from reaching that 10%? First of all, did you reach it this year? And second is, what would be your roadblock for next year?
Yeah. So to answer your question, I was able to get a 3% increase in income. So and that was just this year, right? I'm expecting to after I get another job, then I'm going to be getting between that 5 to 10. So it's going to be more than 3% going
Mm.
into next year, right?
Okay, okay.
Um, and that's just from my active income from my job. Um, of course, I want to be able to make the passive income. But to answer your question more directly about my roadblocks from doing that, is there is a certain level of hesitation that I have for changing a lot of these things, right? Like, of course, getting a new job is always like, okay, you have to go through the interview process and everything like that. Um, with that being said, I have had great discussions with people who have 20 to 30 years of experience, and they always tell me, like, hey, this industry is doing a lot more, like the finance industry, the health industry as well, when it
Mhm.
comes to dealing with software engineering, data engineering, all these different types of programming languages that are coming out. I had to learn these new things. That being said, it's like, okay, do I really want to invest the time to actually learn all these new skills?
Mhm.
And in addition to trying to find this new job, So now I have to kind of use analytics to help me make a data-driven decision. That's pretty much
Really?
what I'm doing now is I'm looking at all these different jobs on Indeed. I'm looking at, okay, what are people looking for in the marketplace?
Mm,
And that's what's helping me to make this decision to kind of get over that hesitation. Because if you have all the data backing up your decisions, you won't hesitate, you won't feel any fear, and you won't be able to say, hey, you know what, I missed out on the opportunity because I was too scared to do it, to make it, to go ahead and shoot my shot. That's pretty
hmm.
much, you know.
So
So
basically,
yeah,
if I hear correctly, what you're saying is you have a hard time coming up with a final decision on where you should focus your learning experience and which skill do you learn for that new jobs, so that you're using analytics to kind of like understand what's the trend in the market, and from there you go and learn that skill, and then you apply at that job, right? So
exactly.
perfect, perfect. All right. So, and I like that you said analytics, because that is definitely one thing, Wally, that can help as well with YouTube, is basically be a student of analytics. Now, one thing, and just like you two have different goals, right? The different goals for 2022, but when it comes down to it, to me, it's the same thing to do to achieve both of them. And I'm also going to have a recommendation for you guys, and if it's up to you if you want to listen to it or not. But Wally, all right. So your goals are in YouTube's. You want to reach like 30%. You mentioned, right? 30% growth on YouTube. Perfect. So one thing you can do, man, is what I do is I study my analytics like crazy, and sometimes YouTube analytics is not necessarily great. Sometimes I go get other platforms that can get me other informations from analytics, and I use that to strategize a plan. Like for example, I might make streams based on what my analytics are telling me. I might make video clips and or rearrange my video clips based on my what my analytics are telling me. And then based on the where the demand is, I can also go find a niche, a group on Facebook, or group on Discord, or group somewhere, be part of that community, be actually providing value, right? Providing value, and then I promote what I do on that group once I get enough value there. So that's what I would say, and I think 30% you can achieve that very quick. So yes, I would definitely do that. So analytics is and focusing on education is definitely something you would do. What do you think about that?
I think that's pretty spot on because I do look at my analytics, right? And I do notice, like, I mean, let's say, yeah, because as far as the streams go, I think there's a point in time where I just had to cut it off because it's moments where it's great at the beginning and then it slows it down towards the end. But there's only like certain, it all depends on which one it is. Like there's some nights it stays good and then there's some nights it goes off. So, but yeah, overall, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and this is just one thing of the equation you can do. Of course, this is not just the only thing to do.
Yeah, no.
Um, yes, so go ahead. Hello, you were going to say
Oh, you
something?
Well,
no. I said no. You're right. That's what I said.
Yeah. And yes, basically, if you and but what I'm trying to say, I use the analytics as just one thing. But
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is basically what Wally was saying, and sorry, what Before the Billion was saying. It's to invest in your education, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a course. It could be whatever is providing you information. I think one thing I like what Before the Billion was mentioning is he was using different tools that can help him make more educated decisions on where he should allocate his time. I think that's great. I think that's great. That's definitely the way to go. Me in my investing journey as well, I don't mind invest wherever I can to access information. And me too, I'm using AI. And right now, that's something I'm looking into, to use AI to help me make better decisions. So for YouTube goals, I think that's something you can do. And when you look at one video, it's of course the analytics might go on up and up, but you got to look at it from the macro perspective, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes it might be an idea of changing to have a clearer message, understand who you are talking to. Me, honestly, um, I'll give you a secret. I basically try to speak with two type of people, and it's funny because a lot of them are in the chat. I kind of like estimating J Bones in my mind. I don't know if he's still here. It's a guy who's always there on my chat. He's supporting me right now. Please hit the like button, guys. But I imagine this guy would be 30 years old. Okay,
Right.
and then in my mind, I'm like, this would be the ideal niche, the ideal person I would like to speak with. Someone who's looking to learn about crypto, about stocks, about how to engineer the wealth. 30 years old is a man. Then yes, maybe he's a black man. And then I'm like, maybe he's not, but at least he's a man. And then I don't care about the race, but I'm like, okay, so that's someone, and that's almost also someone who's in the States. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, I would like to speak with North American men in their 30s about how to invest and how to increase on YouTube. So that's a clear person. It's not just
Yeah.
an idea.
Demographics.
Yeah, it's not just an idea. It's someone that mentally, like he doesn't know, maybe he knows now, but he doesn't know. But mentally, I'm trying to like visualize who I'm speaking with. So when I'm making a video, so I'm like, okay, what would J Bones thinks about that, right? And then now that and there is millions J Bones out there, right? So I'm like, okay, so if he likes it, how do I reach the other ones, right? And then also, I do the same for Aaron Me. I think he's in his 20s. The second group I want to talk about is people that are in their 20s. And the range that I'm targeting is from 20 years old to 35 years old. And that's the range that I'm targeting. People are either students, they are also young professionals like you before the billion. So these are people that I'm targeting in my niche. So that is a clear visual right there. And basically, I'm like, okay, when I was at that age, what was I doing? What was I thinking? What do I wish I knew back then? And I try to come up with a title. I'm still having to work on my title and my thumbnails. That's my weakness. And that is something I'm going to work on 2022 on my YouTube channel. But as for goals, that's definitely what I would say. Visualize it, have a clear number, and make it real, and then like and interact with your chats, interact with your best members, with your fan, try to get to know them, and then that can help you address what do they need. Like I know J Bones, he wants more information about cryptocurrencies. That's something that he's looking forward to. So every so often I try to throw up some gems out there that he may not be having the time to go to a course, but I'm going to either make a video clips, either make like the streams to talk about it, and then like I'm trying to reach as many J Bones as possible, right? So that's
Yeah.
definitely my would say it would be my advice. But before the billion for you, what I hear a lot, and I think I hear the same for both of you guys, is um both of you have goals, but it seems that it comes from the income side, right? Is that fair to assume?
Yes.
Um,
Well,
you
for
can
me,
probably say, well, yeah, you can say that, but then a little bit more of the growth, really.
Yes, but because that growth will result into more
Yeah,
income, all right?
yeah, yeah.
At
So
some
yeah,
point,
you may say yeah,
let's say you were lucky and then you end up being monetized. I think you're looking at that for as a way to
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true.
yeah. So my advice to you is great, but for 2022, especially in cryptocurrencies, please, by all means, look into it, guys. Not necessarily just looking at the income side. It's not about how much money you make, it's how much money you keep and multiply. All right. So you may make $100, but if you multiply that into $1,000, then that's you might have a lot of effort to make money and you spend less effort to multiply it. Like you see what I'm saying? And so
Right.
and it's a matter of doing the research, and again, I don't want to you don't have to. I think both of you are actually on my Discord, so shout out to you guys.
Yes.
But
yes, we are.
even on the free information that I provide, just YouTubers, because there is so many information on YouTube, so many videos on cryptocurrencies. You may not know which one to watch. Me, I spent like literally days and watching through all of them and filter out the good information and put that on my Discord. So even though you were staying in the free ones alone, whenever you can, let's say go in a bathroom, we don't have journals anymore. So people go on their phone, and as you're doing your deeds, you can pull up your phone and listen to content right there that could give you a good idea on what investment you can start doing. And if you could actually take some of that income, put it back into investing a vehicle that could multiply that income, you're still focusing on the same thing you're doing. You're still focusing on your YouTube. You're still focusing on understanding the market to get the skills and learn that skills before the billion. But as you're doing that, you have also your money working for you, right? And if you once you start getting into that mindset and you see results, trust me, you'll be addicted with it, and you'll understand the power of how money working for you can definitely accelerate you might realize before the billion that your money is working for you for so well that you're just fine with the job you have, just making sure that you're increasing that skill, you're increasing at that job, you're increasing that seniority, the people are respecting you at that job. And then, man, put that money into some vehicle that multiplies it, and within 3 4 years you're good. So if you time the market, you leverage that. I think that would be my advice to you guys. But maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm wrong. But before the billion, what do you think so far about this?
Yeah, I think that you're spot on with a lot of things because that's how wealth is built. Is not how much money you make, but how much money you keep. So and keep it multiply, right? So with that being said, of course, I've done investments before, so I'm not, new to it or anything, but it is something that I would also advocate to people, and this is also not financial advice coming from me, right? This is, make your own, professional opinions and stuff like that when it comes to finances. But from what I do is I have a moderately aggressive portfolio
Mm-hmm.
that I've been keeping over for the past few years, and it has led to some great gains. And I want to be able to do it more. The reason why I bring up the income is just it's a general goal for each year. So, you know, I just, regardless of if I want to get a new job or not, I'm going to be making some sort of at least 3% increase each year anyway. So I'm going to have a job that will give me a
And
raise.
that was my other question. So when you do
Yeah.
10%, does that include from any way, any methods, or just the job?
So I was saying specifically for the active income, right? So my
Right,
job,
right. So
yeah. So my
just the
job
job,
will be
basically.
my active income, and then now I'm bringing in YouTube. Um, I separate because I have an LLC, so I
Mm.
separate my personal and my business
Mm-hmm.
income. So with the business, there's going to be a whole different one. I want to increase exponentially with YouTube. I have already been increasing uh, by an exponential rate as far as my subscribers,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, I noticed that.
also,
You're almost catching me up, man.
what's funny is that when I first heard of you, right? We were on the chat with Melissa Jane. You were like already at 900 and something, and then I was at like 700 maybe.
Yeah, man, you're blowing up.
So I'm trying, man. I'm trying
Yeah.
putting out
Very
content every
quickly, very
day.
quickly. Shout out to Melissa Jade. She's here in the chat. She said, "Hey guys, I'm
Oh
turning
yeah.
in while doing my own show. I love watching with the audio off." Well, thank you for this support. That's support right there. And hopefully she can hit the like button before she goes. Carry on. Sorry, carry on.
Right. But yes, as far as the business side, of course, I have a lot of things coming through the pipeline with my side as far as that, so that way I can lead to the business kind of getting off the ground. Of course, I have the YouTube channel, but also I have my own website, and also I
Mm,
have a Patreon as well that I'm going to be promoting and stuff like that. So that leads into more income as well because I'll be having ads on the website and also the Patreon as well.
mm,
So that's going to be and then also now lead attorney is putting out my name so that way he's telling like, oh, why don't you check out before the billions to do your website?
Mm.
stuff like that.
And
Um,
does that contribute also to your active income? Because if you think about it that way, this is like a consulting gig on the side when to do your websites. So that could be an extra income. But do you factor that in that 3% increase or 10% increase for the year? Or
I would put that into business.
oh, okay, I
So
see, I see.
so the personal one, personal active income will be 3 to 10%
Mm-hmm.
for my full time job, and then my business income will be like I would give it a number. I would give like I want to increase like 110%, right?
Mm-hmm.
you know, like kind of like similar to how my subscribers has gone up. Like I want to say like a few hundreds of percents,
Mm-hmm.
since the past few months. But as far as income from all these other revenue streams for the business, I want to increase that up maybe another really 50%. That I know that's like extremely high.
I don't think it is, man. I think it's these are not we like especially with you, Wally. And I'm going to put him. I'm going to put him here. It's your turn now. Because actually,
Okay,
I'm also using this as a way to test my StreamYards because I haven't tested these modes before. So
right. You can actually
So what's
move
the
people
question again?
too. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to see. I'm like, interesting. I can move things around. But yes, Wally, or
So
well,
what's the question again?
and yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna get to that. But I just want to say, guys, shout out to you guys for coming on the panel and share with the audience basically your goals for 2022, and I think that could give people like a perspective of what real people are actually doing here. And you two are coming from different perspectives. So shout out to you. I'm going to add your links. I'll find your links to your YouTube channels and add it on the chat as well, so that hey, maybe if you're watching, go support them. They're doing that. They help them reaching their goals, and if you can support in any way, that's up to you. So Wealth Talk Production. Sorry, I keep calling you Wally. Wally Wealth Talk Production.
It's both, man. Doesn't matter.
And yes, man. So I wanted to ask you. So we talk more on the YouTube side. Do you have any goals at all when it comes to your income for 2022?
So yeah, basically going back to what I had mentioned earlier. So I really don't work. This is my like the YouTube business is my job, ultimately, all in all. Other
No,
than that,
I get
oh,
that. I get that. I'm just saying that, like, I'm just saying for
oh,
2022,
for
is
the
that is
like
that the plan is to have it the same way, or do you have any goals to get there?
no. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry. Um, but yeah, no. So the goal is right because cause like what you mentioned before, right? I already know this ahead of time. Like, so one of my subscribers, they wanted me to actually start breaking down my content because they felt that there was a lot of jewels being mentioned in what I've shared so far, but they want that to be broken down to where everyone understands a bit and piece of everything, which is great because I would need to basically this is where the timing comes in, right? I have to make
Mm-hmm.
the time to do the pre videos and then make this and to make it where it's just about this topic and breaking down what this is, how to obtain it, and then where do you would go from there and probably make some lives on it just to singularing that topic altogether. So yeah, that's something I'm really am working on. Other than that, I will be basically adding other content that I would think would be a little bit more interesting amongst YouTube that people can gravitate towards if they ever think about doing YouTube themselves.
Yes, absolutely. That could be, hey, man, if that's the way you want to go, um, go around that, starting playing around it now, because in January, this
Yeah,
is
I know.
every year. This is a topic that people are looking for because New Year, they want to look for something new to do, and a lot of them are looking into YouTube. Guys, I think both of you are YouTubers, so this is a good stats to share with you guys. I found out the other day that a lot of small businesses actually they're considering YouTube as the fastest growing small business, right? So it
That's
seems
true.
that a lot of people, instead of doing the small business route, they go on YouTube, and also a lot of small business also go on YouTube full time so that they can promote their small business. I'm a perfect example of that. I'm a small business myself. I instruct people on how to educate people on what they can do to increase their net worth, to start from the beginning to the end on basically how to build a portfolio for retirement. And also, I have this Discord that I'm running where we share information for subscription fee, right? So this is technically a small business, but one of the things I do is I also provide value on YouTube and I increase my subscriber counts, increase my views. That also, should that get to monetize one day, that could be an extra income for the business. And also, that's also a lead generator for my business, right? So I can some people that can come in, they can hear about me on YouTube, sign up on Discord, and go from there. So that's also the advantage of that. And there is this trend right here is a growing trend, and they're estimating that it's just going to go higher for 2022. So as YouTubers, guys, definitely check into that. And yeah, and if this is something you can help people start, like, hey, things you need to know as you start, how do you get your first 1,000 subscribers? There's so many people who struggle with that. So as you're doing the work, you can share your journey on how you're doing it, things that works, things that didn't work. So that will give a different perspective out there on what's on things that you don't normally see. Like, I don't normally see someone, most people are already at 1,000 subscribers and telling you what they did on a 10-minute video, but you never really see someone who's going through that process. All right. How do you take an account from 100 to 1,000 in 1 year? And then what was the process along the way? So if I could see that, that would definitely be entertaining, educational. So yeah, think about that. If that's the route you want to go, I definitely encourage that. What do you think about that so far?
I think of that as yeah, a good idea. I mean, honestly, so this to expand on what I had said earlier, right? To what you just said right now, because the other part what I would probably add to start getting in to start driving in income,
Mhm.
because one thing I was thinking of was to actually write books, right? Give off information writing books, sell that, or if on an add-on, I would probably do consultant amongst maybe talk to people about their business and then maybe give them ideas here and there
Mhm.
as far as to
Absolutely.
yeah
Yeah,
to
ebooks.
yeah.
You can do that for free. I was just checking out yesterday a platform. I forgot the name, but it was like one of these ads that pop up, and then I was looking into it. Some drag and drop that allows you to do ebooks. You can do that for free. Sell it like $5, $10, like less than $10, basically. Put
Yeah.
that somewhere, and then man, that's an income right there. So I definitely encourage that. I don't know if before the beginning left, but it's okay, guys. If you wanna, if you just let me know on the chat or something if you have to go or something. But
I know I just had to stand up for a second.
no worries, no worries. Trust me, I understand. But yeah, I just want to go very quickly on a couple comments, and then I'll ask you some other questions. But hey, I have many skills, but I'm now boiling down to one which will make me the most money job wise. Aaron B, I think you're in the tech sector, right? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comment section which job exactly are you looking at. Because I think before the billion as well is on the IT sector. Maybe there is some
Yes,
questions he might help you clarify. What are you doing exactly before the billion? I think you're a data engineer, correct?
yes, that's correct. So the high level
Hmm.
explanation of my job is I move data from one place to the other. So one database, and then we transform it to say whatever you want it to say, and then put it into the other database. So that way
Hmm.
people can use it on whatever software that we're working on at the moment.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yes, data is key, guys. Everything that we're going in the future will be database. So this is definitely a skill you want to have, and that will kind of guarantee you job security for a while because that's important right here. Me personally, in my industry, we're looking for data scientists. But man,
Mhm.
it's we're begging for data scientists. At this point, we're actually going to start looking in other countries, man, because we can't we can't compete, man, with the ones here. We have we want to give them a job, right? We have the first interview Monday, the second interview Tuesday, and then the third interview where we tell them they're going to get the job on Wednesday. On Wednesday, they already have two more offers, and then they choose someone else. We're like, come on, man.
What the
And that happens twice already. Like now we're like, man, can we look in France or can we look like somewhere else? They have data scientists we can hire because man, we can't keep up with the ones here, man. They
What engineering? Do you mind if I tell you guys the story? It's short.
Let's go with the stories.
It's very short.
go
I'll
ahead, man.
shorten it
Go
up.
ahead. Tell us
It's
the
still
story, my
good.
friend.
I wanted to work for Chick-fil-A
Mm,
corporate as a software engineer. They apparently have a extremely long interview process where it is 7 interviews
wow.
before you get
Yikes.
to the eighth interview, which
Mm,
is in front of the actual like directors and stuff like that.
mm,
Um, I went through 7 interviews, and this the I went through actually 3 interviews starting off, right? So you go through the initial phone screening, you go through the
mhm,
first interview, which is like, you actually filming yourself
mhm,
answering questions. And then
mm,
after you do that, you do 2 more interviews on the phone and on like FaceTime with another uh, hiring manager or coworker. So after that, they have a full day of interviews, which is 4 interviews back to back, and then they
mhm,
give you lunch at the end of it. So
mm.
you're
At least
thinking
they give you
after,
lunch, man.
right, they give you lunch. So you're thinking, okay, I've gotten through 7 interviews, gone through lunch with them, everything is fine. I'm expecting to at least get to the eighth interview and get the job. Nope. Then I got to the seventh interview, and then I did not get to the eighth one. I asked them like, hey, what was actually the issue? What happened? They said, oh, you did nothing wrong.
Hmm,
I'm like, oh, okay. Like I didn't do anything wrong. How can I improve? How could I get to that eighth interview? Oh, we can't give you any feedback on that. Um, Turns out they ended up giving the job to somebody who did not have the same degree. They had a music degree, and
Oh wow.
not only did I have a music, I had a degree and I had internships.
yeah.
Work as software developer, and didn't get the job. They gave it to somebody else who had, I guess, connections maybe. And that's the only way I can think that they would, get the job. But I can see now that it's two sides to the story because you have the candidate side,
Mhm,
which is, hey, I'm going through all these interviews. You said 3 interviews, right? And then the third interview is where you actually you get the offer, or you hear back if you're going to get the job.
yeah.
But you're pretty certain at that point after 3 interviews. With me, I'm like, okay, I went through 7 interviews. Wait a second, you guys aren't certain,
I
right?
mean, no, this I've never heard anything more than three. And to be honest with you, the third one is basically if you get to the third one, this is where you expect to get the job, right? This is on the third one. You know what it is? This is the discussing the contract. This is like, you know what, we give we this is what we want to do as a project. This is the money you're going to get. Do you like it? You don't like it? Let me know. We can
Right,
negotiate, right? This is what we're doing on a third interview. So at that point, you're in, man. But man, in my CD right now, data scientists, man, they're so rare, man. So rare. But anyway, I just want to go quickly on a couple of points here. Visualize, indeed, guys. Yes, man. It help you visualize your goals in any matters. That can definitely help me for YouTube. I visualize some one person that I'm trying to speak with, and then that helps me reach out anyone that mimics that same personality style, kind of like what they're looking for, where they are in life, and that helps me with my YouTubes. So far, it's been doing great, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, much love to you, J Bones. That's the guy I was telling you guys. I'm telling him that
right.
he's so consistently in my chat these days that I'm like, okay, so what would J Bones think about my next video? So it helps me visualize it, guys. Let me see. I see another comment here. Peter Investor Ham. I think he already had this question before, but let's talk about it again. Does it help to have a numerical number reaching financial independence, or just have a positive net worth? No, it's positive net worth. I disagree. It's not just that. This is not enough. This is not enough. Having a numerical number is definitely way, way, way better than having a positive net worth, just random positive net worth, right? Let me tell you why. Because my official number is 4,000, but deeply, my comfortable number would have been 5,000. And when I say 5,000, I mean I want my investments to pay me 5,000 a month without having to sell the principal that I put into that investment. I want to hold the principal until I'm ready to pass it to my son, and then in that meantime, I want it to pay me at least 5,000 a month until that time comes, right? So that's what I look at. And the reason why I say $5,000 a month is because, well, hey, at some point it was 1,500 for me in terms of expenses for the month. It's going to be passed to 3,000. I'm going to have to pay $3,000 in expenses next year because I have to pay daycare now. But at least I have an extra $2,000 a month that I
Here
can
we
do
go.
whatever I want with it, right? What's up, Wally?
No, you said you got to do daycare.
Oh man, man,
How
man.
much does daycare cost?
Daycare is rough,
Woo!
man. Daycare,
Boy,
it's another rent. It's
what?
another
Really?
I
Oh, trust me,
I
it went up
reduced.
after this one, boy. It went up.
Oh, it's because I managed to reduce my expenses to 1,500 per month, right? Because I'm trying to be cheap. I'm trying to be like because the more money I save, the more money I can invest, and the more I can multiply it. That's how I was able to achieve my goal for 2022. It's because I invest. I try to invest at least 50% of my income back to cryptocurrencies, and then 10x that, right? So I basically made more money in my cryptocurrency than I made in my job. So yeah, that's that's the first time that happened in my life, but it happens. But now now cryptocurrencies not sorry expenses are going up, so it's going to be very hard for me to do the same thing, right? I can't put 50% of my income anymore on my crypto investment. I'm going to nearly have to put almost 100% of that into my living expenses. So, but thank God I did the work because now I can leverage my investment portfolio to keep growing it and more. So, without having to put much as initial capital in. So, that's the good news. But the bad news is I don't like that rent, man. That rent's going up. Well, that's just one baby, right? So, that's definitely going to slow me down until I have the second one. But hey, man, it's the part of life, It's that's what you have to do. So going back to your question, Peter M, having a numerical number definitely helps because now I know a clear target, right? I can even also estimate how long it's going to get me, how long it's going to take me to get there, right? So now I can have a realistic timeline based on my current situation, based on the rate of growth of my portfolio, how long it's going to take me until I can make, at the very least, 4,000 dollars a month, but ideally $5,000 a month from my portfolio without having to sell the initial capital. So that will lead to the positive net worth, and that will lead also to higher growth. But once you have that number, for me, that would mean independence. I wouldn't need to keep working anymore. If I get 4,000, I wouldn't need to work. I would just rely on that and then live off of that. And I wouldn't say I'm financially independent, but in terms of I have definitely financially freedom to a minimum at the very least because I don't depend on a job. I can travel and be richer when I get back, right? And that's ideally what I'm looking for. Um, what are your thoughts on that? Do you guys have a number, or do you guys have a positive network when it comes to your to reaching your financial goal?
Yeah. So, yeah, of course, I say I like to think of percentages, but if you're asking between numbers and just positive net worth, I would most definitely go with the numerical. Um, just having a positive net worth, I mean, isn't zero positive? You know what I mean?
It's
You're
right
right.
there in the middle. It's slap
You're
dab in
right.
the middle.
So I'm not in debt, right? That would be positive. So of course, I would rather go for the numerical, meaning just like how you were saying, like as an example, 5,000, right? $5,000 or something like that, as a numerical number. But it makes it easier
Mhm,
to realize like exactly what your goals are going to be because you can budget for have I'm making an extra $5,000 or something like that from my business,
mhm,
right? That's easier to budget because now, just like how you brought up, you were saying that you were able to budget and bring down your living expenses to $1,500.
Hmm.
That's a numerical number. You can see it, you can visualize it, you can put it in your spreadsheet, and then you can say, okay, this is it. Also, that's how you get to your net worth anyway. You have to have, all the numbers to coming together in order to even realize what your net worth is. Of course, you can use bookkeeping software or budgeting software like
Hmm.
Mint, which is what
Yeah,
I use.
very quickly, shout out to Mint. It's a great software to help you budget, help you put everything into, to help you visualize it, guys. Great software for that. And I believe it's free also. You can download it for free
Yes.
and play
Yeah.
around before you. I'm not sure if there is an exclusive, but I use the free version. So anyway, sorry, keep going. I just wanted to mention that quickly.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, and I'm glad that we're getting this information out here too, because it would help out a lot of people.
Mm,
But yeah, so in order to get your net worth, you have to get through the numbers, and of course, if you say I want to make an extra $5,000 from my business, that would be something. Not only would it be, if you think about it in a percentage wise, if you're not making, I want to say $1,000 from your business, that will be a huge leap. That's a great sign of growth. Just like how Wally or Wealth Talk Productions was saying earlier, he's focusing on growth, and if you have a specific number, you're able to visualize that growth.
mm. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, just like you too. At least you have a number for your YouTube growth. If you can visualize it, it's better than. I mean, you can't really talk about network when it comes to kind of like YouTube, but in
Yeah.
general, whether it's your finances, visualize a number and work on that number is definitely better. I agree with that.
Hey,
Wait, sorry.
wealth engineering.
Hmm?
Do you mind if I bring in this one thing?
Yep.
Is that when it comes to YouTube, and I'm sure that you guys have heard of this term before, it's called gamification.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the good thing that YouTube has done so far is they have gamified their platform
Mm,
in the sense that you're looking at your analytics, right? You look at your analytics all the time, right?
Right.
You're able to see, okay, I put out this video, I did all the work to get in this video, and you get rewarded for that work that you do.
mm,
But then you notice that your rewards tend to get slimmer or more robust as you figure out what your niche is going to be. Now, of course, you're in the financial space, wealth engineering, and you have, I forgot how many people you have in your Discord. It's like 60 something people.
yeah, about close to, let's say 70 actually sometimes.
Yeah.
And
I'll check.
Yeah, so you have a lot of people in your Discord, but that's from converting them over from either YouTube or from some other business
mhm,
or marketing yourself or family and friends. All those different kinds of things are kind of leading you to being like, okay, I'm actually growing. So the game is the growth, right? The
mhm.
game is the getting more acknowledgement. It's always a great feeling whenever you're not even on a panel and then somebody's talking about you, right?
Cool.
You
Yeah.
know, so actually, I'll say this real quick and I'll be quiet, but
It's okay.
because I feel like I've tried to play the game for a while because I was at 12 subscribers when I first really started doing this YouTube thing a few months ago. And then I'm able to get up to 911
Hmm.
subscribers. And it's because I've been doing these marathon live streams. You've been on a few of them as well. But I did an 11-hour and 32-minute live stream. And I had one of the bigger YouTubers in our space, Anton Daniels. They were talking about me in their live stream, and Anton's a millionaire.
Mm,
I was thinking like, wait a second, why is it that he got up to 11 hours and 44 minutes? And then they said, oh, shout out to lead attorney and before the billions because they were trying to beat my record. And
Man,
I was
man,
saying like,
yesterday I saw it. I was working late at night, and man, this guy, bro, he put one of them, one of the person in the panel as an admin, and he went to sleep. Man, his wife was coming to pick him up to bring him to bed to sleep, and then this guy was like, "Okay, man, I'll just go." And it, the stream was going like 3 hours after. I'm like, "What? What's going on?" Man, you're right, though. You're right. But there's a question I want to ask. But you brought
yes,
a great point right here, gamification, and I'm going to ask Wally this. But before I do that, let me address some chats here. I see Aaron here typing in all caps. Come on, man, please slow down on the all
Oh
caps. I can
yeah,
still
the Discord
I can
79.
I can still see it, man. I can still see it. So, you were saying about they were hiring someone internally. I think when you were talking about the seven
actually,
interviews,
the
uh,
person was external. It was
yeah,
not an
oh,
internal person. it,
yeah. And he has his own estimation on that. It was maybe a
it was actually a man. It was it was a white man.
So man, you got 0 for 2, Aaron. Come on, man. Any other prediction you have? But wait, let me see. Just go on LinkedIn and find millions of them with no experience or qualification taking all the tech jobs. I don't I don't know if you're talking
Yeah,
about
they had a boot camp.
Oh
anyway, no
man,
comments on that.
I'm done.
Anyway, man, no comments on there. Race and gender always matters. Well, I disagree with that point in a bit because if it's for YouTube, I guess you can make a YouTube specific to a gender, but mostly you only see that on Black community. You don't see that on any other community, and I think that's a limiting factor to your growth. If you really want to care about growth, you care about helping me. I run a business, so as a business, I have to be able to be open to the world and address whoever needs helps, right? So there's definitely I can't really put that mindset for my business where I'm saying, hey, I'm only going to help a certain race or a certain factor. First, it affects incomes, but it's also, like if anyone needs help, the right thing to do is to help them, regardless of their gender or race. So that's why I disagree with this. But I understand people that focusing only on a specific community and gender, and to each their own, right? So with that said, J Bones, well, I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. Question I had for you, Wally, is before the billion brought a great point, a gamification. Now, when it comes to wealth, right? Do you see wealth as a game? Do you see like is that to you a game that you're trying to win, you're trying to stay competitive in? That you think of it as a game, or to you is it more than just a game? Like, what would you say about that?
In most cases, yeah, it is a game. Because most games, depending on which one you play, is mostly strategics. So yeah, well, you have to be strategic about this. So yeah, same way. So because most games that I think about playing, you have to be very strategic where you're going and where
Mm,
environment you're planning on playing in. So you have to be very wise of what resources you put in
mhm,
and what resources you try to pick up and everything else. Because even right now, right on the gaming channel that I got right now, besides this, I have to be very strategic with the resources I have to be effective in the game. If not, I lose.
mm.
So yeah,
Absolutely. So very quickly, I wanted to mention this. Aaron B was saying this. He was talking more about the job and the come when it comes to interviews. Yeah, going back to this. Uh, so
I completely understand
from
Aaron
that
B.
perspective, I don't think we can disagree on that. But maybe I would say, hey, that's also another thing that encouraged me to build up my portfolio so that I don't depend on jobs, right? So because I've seen the job market change under my feet. It could change for many reasons. Now going to a world that is more and more politically correct, so you never know. And of course, you've seen what happened 2 years ago with the I don't even want to say the word, but
yeah.
the M2 the M2 situation. So many people, there was of course there were some legitimate facts here, but there was a lot of people that were using that as a trend to take away from the power out there and replace them with their own jobs. Anyway, we can go that's a topic for another day. But to me, this is fuel, right? This is fuel for me to put all that energy into putting it back on my portfolio so that my money can work for me as opposed to me working for money, right? But yes, a great point, Wally, when it comes to gamification. And I agree with you. You have to be wise. You have to think. of ways to it's a strategy, right? You have to think about it, and that's one of the reason why I wanted to bring that conversation. If anyone else wants to join in, by the way, the link is pinned on the chat. But that's definitely something I wanted to join mention is when you strategize, if you're planning on doing something for 2022, the best time to start thinking about it is now, especially in December. You can think about it, run simulation. I'm a big factor of simulation, trying out your ideas. Many ways you can do that. If you have an idea, try to find someone who had the same idea as you and how did it go for them, right? And then try to scale that in your situation, in your lifestyle, and see how would that work. That's one of the strategies I use to run simulations and see if one thing will work for me or not. But yeah, I would say, yeah, again, you got to think about it. You got to strategize. You have to plan accordingly around it. And if for your goals, regardless of what your goals are, identify your roadblocks and strategize a way and do it as a game as well. For me, when it comes to building wealth, it's a game. In a game, there are winners and there are losers. I care about winning. I'm a very competitive guy, so thinking building my portfolio as a game makes it fun, right? It makes it fun, it makes it competitive. And I'll be honest with you, before the billion, I'm looking at them numbers, subscribers. I'm running also your watch time on my computer to increase your watch time. But there's this side of me. There's wait. Let me do something here. Let me just have fun with it, right? Yeah. There is this side of me, there is this side of me that's looking at them numbers. I'm like,
Like,
I see they're getting close. I gotta up my game too. So,
That's
but
the competition,
that
right?
drives me to make better content, to make better, and trying to come up. And I don't know if you guys know this. I have like 5 streams scheduled for the next week or so, two coming up, and I have two more coming up.
Yeah, I don't. I
Yeah,
have.
well, I've been seeing those, but
I did. I put reminder on for all of them. In addition to me having my bell notification clicked already.
yeah.
But I will say is that you guys are most definitely like you done a lot of work just by putting up the schedule. Because not
Oh
only did you have to make the thumbnails take
man,
forever sometimes.
that's
what?
something else I'm learning, man. Even to schedule the stream and to get the ideas work finding, because there's some of them I'm going to invite people. That alone was time consuming, and then coming up with the plan, sending them the invites. Whew, that was a lot of work. That's why I couldn't post as many videos this week, because I was working networking every day after work to try to get more people in. But man, as I said, I'm looking at them numbers. I'm like, all right, I gotta work. But I'm just having fun, right? I'm a very competitive guy, and deep down, I'm happy for you. And also, I'm trying to help you out as well by
Thank you.
increasing your watch time, getting the videos playing. So don't worry, it's not nothing anything hateful or don't think of it that way. It's just
Right.
purely for fun, purely competitive, and having jokes. How about you, Ali? Are you thinking of it that way too? By the way, Michael Jordan used to be one of my greatest model. This guy was obsessed with competition, so that's why I'm like that.
Yeah, going to yeah. I mean, I did it before, right? I've supported someone's like I supported one of my main man right platform the whole way. I've literally watched all of his content, and I'm practically done to the point he has did his current content now. So I just switched it up to another content creator right now. I'm doing a little bit more on blind guy, their wife, and then I'm gonna just catch it to everybody else as
Mm.
much as possible.
Yeah,
But
definitely, that's and to be honest with you guys, this is a lesson to me as well. But it's a lesson I know. Like sometimes you know something, but you've learned it on a different perspective, and that's what happens to me this year. Like you know that you're supposed to work in teams to get to your goals. That's going to get to your goals faster. Like everyone knows that, but when you're actually doing it and then you seeing it working from different perspective, it makes it like, oh yes, you know that, but I never even considered it that way before. And that's something that hasn't happening with me in YouTube, like joining a community where there is YouTubers out there that can join. Everyone are helping each other. You can get to your goal much faster. And it's the same topic with building wealth. Like at school, they always tell you, hey, you can't cheat, right? If you try to share that answer to your best friend, you get disqualified, you get out, you get kicked out of the school, you get labeled almost like a criminal, you know. But in the real world, guys, it doesn't work that way, man. In the real world, if you're helping each other, you get to your goals faster. And when you're building your wealth, when you are looking in your financial journey, think of it as a community as well. A community can help you get your goals faster. They can help you save time. They can help you learn, increase that learning curve, and you can leverage the community. One of the things we're doing, we're splitting out research on my Discord, where I don't have time to look at 5 coins. I split out with I choose one, another guy choose another one, and then we meet up and we discuss about it. So that right there saves me time, and I still have quality information I can make a decision on. So just to tell you guys, it's not always doing it alone, focusing on alone. Sometimes reaching a community can help you guys achieve your goals faster, and that's definitely something I noticed this year with YouTube. I'm helping before the billion reach his goal as well, almost at 1K, increases watch time. We're very almost similar in terms of numbers, watch time and subscribers. So I'm helping him, he's helping me, he's joining me on the panel. I ask people to call, and then he's joining me on the panel. That creates content. That's another form of helping and supporting. So all that to say, guys, these are actual, you can see it for yourself live on YouTube, how helping a community can help you grow to get your go faster, whether it's YouTube or your financials. And it could be anything else, anything you're passionate and interested in. Definitely find a community, and that will help you and motivate you to get there. What are your thoughts on that, guys?
Yeah, I agree. I think that the community helps out tremendously. Of course, you have your community as well. You have the wealth engineers. I have the BTB squad, and we all come together. Of course, we have overlap, right? Of course, we have Wealthstar Productions, who is all, we're also a part of his community as well. Um, and we all just kind of interact and commingle. But also, in addition to that, we have our playlist that, just like how you were saying, I'm playing yours, you're playing mine, in the background, right? And we do these things. And one of these things that I always credit YouTube for is that I started out on Instagram, and Instagram has more of it's a completely different setup. Instagram is set up for feeds. So people are not specifically searching out content
Mm-hmm.
for Instagram. People are searching for content on YouTube. So if I put out specific content that people like, they then follow me, right? Because however many times have you ever looked up a YouTube video, a specific YouTube video, and then you actually were like interested in looking at the creator? Most of the time, you're more so interested in the video itself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see that this person keeps coming up with the same kind of content or similar content as before,
Mm-hmm.
then that's what piques your interest in following that person or following that personality. So, with that being said, Instagram is actually going to be a lot more difficult to get started than it would be for YouTube.
Absolutely.
Um, and because the gamification is different,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's a different
We
game.
had It's a different game. YouTube has likes and dislikes. Well, they had dislikes, right? They
Wait,
got rid of
wait. They
them.
still have it, right? They still have
Yeah,
They
dislikes.
still
they
have
still have
dislikes.
it. It just hides the numbers.
It's what,
Yes,
right?
but that gamification is gone
Oh yeah. Okay.
for the dislikes,
Mm.
right? So there's no incentive for you to dislike a video. There's only incentive to like a video, right? So that will lead people to not dislike your video as much.
Mm.
So but with Instagram, you only can like,
Yeah.
or you can just scroll.
So if you get
Is
the
no,
like,
you're
that
right.
means these ones are legit. This one really
Right.
like you.
Exactly. And the thing is that since that gamification is different
Mm-hmm.
between Instagram and YouTube, your community is going to also be different as well
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of the time you don't get paid off of Instagram. I know that Instagram just initiated badges and promotions and stuff like that. Those are more new things, but they are not going to be like a YouTube super chat or people donating to your Cash App because of the type of content that you make. Usually on Instagram, you're going to have to provide some sort of value for somebody. You have to almost pretty much do a trade in order to get that compensation. Because whether it's a brand endorsement, whether it is you are actually doing a commission for somebody, whether it be artwork or doing somebody's website or whatever it is that you do, providing some sort of service, usually people do not pay you for providing information, right? Especially on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube that's a different story. There are plenty of content creators who make informational content that people really enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
that they will be able to support that content creator because they're putting them on game, they get dropping gems, and that's what I would say is my credit to the YouTube community, right? So with engineering, just like I was saying, you give out information, but you also make it entertaining as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I try to. I
So
try to.
yeah, that's why people.
Wally,
That's what
remember that
people
stream we
are in
had
your
about
community.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
Oh, that one was funny.
that
Oh
was a little
yeah,
while
yeah.
ago. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like a
yeah.
few
Oh
weeks
man,
ago.
it feels like a while ago. Hey man, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I think I'm going. I mean, been going there for 2 hours and 30. I'm not going for your record, man. The 11-hour streams. I'm not going for that record. But I'll actually, I'm very excited tonight. I'm going to try a new method to get token metrics. Token metric is this AI platform that man, I can't wait to use it, man. I've been having problems since last week with it, so I can't really fully use it. But I'll try a different method. And I'm crossing fingers that it works. If it works, it's going to help me time cryptocurrencies just before they blow up. They have an AI that predicts the cryptocurrency price like 7 days before it happens. And the trend they're using machine learning to do it, and they're also using like understanding the trends from Twitters and Reddit when following people's discussions on what's about to blow up. And they also provide analysis, code reviews for cryptocurrencies, and so on. So, definitely going to help me facilitate my research, increasing my research time, and also on better understanding my timing when to get into cryptocurrencies. And if, of course, people in the Discord channels, I'll be sharing information about that platform as well. So if you're in Discord, definitely, I think that's you can't wait for it as well. But yeah, I'm going to close the stream so I can go buy the platform and try with a different email, different password, different cards, different everything, so that I can finally get it to work. But yeah, and I'll make tons of videos about that once I can get access to it. But guys, all that to say, for me, if you have your goals for 2022, make sure that you plan for it in December so that you can attack it in January very hard. Be clear, have a realistic timeline for it, realistic goal for it, and then I'll pass it along to Wally and then Before the Billion just for their last words, and we'll close it from there. But Wally, go ahead first. Is there any last words when it comes to your goals, what you've learned so far, what you're going to apply, your takeaway, and what you have to say?
My takeaway from the whole topic is I know where I want to be and I know where I want to aim for. I mean,
Mm,
overall, I expect to at least, as for my goals coming around for a full year worth,
mhm.
I want to try to get at least 100 plus subscribers, at least
100
overall.
plus subscribers.
Yeah, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, in that channel, in the World Talk production channel.
Yeah, my main,
I
yeah,
want to
this
hear a
channel right
1K, man.
here. Hey, if I
Ten
can
X
blow up
those
to
numbers.
1K, that would be
Shout out
amazing.
to Grant Cardone. 10X those numbers, man.
Thanks.
Uh,
Yeah, man. I wanna hear that game. Like what play the game right. Because let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. I started YouTube 2018. I didn't know what type of content I wanted to make. I'm sorry. I knew I wanted to make content into self development. I'm something that I'm very passionate about. I like kind of like I don't really like paying for coach, but I naturally do it. I just naturally tell people what they can do to be the best version of themselves. So I wanted to do a channel like that. I also like cars, so I was doing it in a car review, kind of like as I'm driving, I'm talking to the people. My channel was named JC the Black Guy at the time, which is my handle on the Discord and Instagram as well.
Where
But
did that name come
later,
from?
sorry,
Where did your Discord handle come from? Like, why'd you choose that name?
JC the Black Guy. Yeah, man, I could write a book on why I decided to call myself JC the Black Guy. But let's just put it this way: I'm bipolar. And then when I had my first manic episode, that's going to sound crazy, but I did mention I did release a clip video earlier this week talking about something that happened to me and how I found my life purpose after I was diagnosed bipolar and going to some sort of depression for my job. So I released a video on that earlier this week, a video clip on that.
Yeah, I
But
seen that.
the first time I did I had a crazy manic episode, and then when you are bipolar you have a sense of grandiose, okay, and my sense of grandiose was I thought I was the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. And then so I was like, JC, Jesus Christ the Black Guy.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Now I'm having
uh,
fun with it. I'm like, just for fun. But man, this is one out of seven reason why I named myself JC the Black Guy, and I'll just leave it at that, man. But
Gotcha.
well,
that's interesting. That's very
I'll say another
interesting.
one. At the time, I was having my bipolar manic episode, the first one. It was, I lost my job in 2013. It took me 14 months to find another job in the engineering sector, specifically to electronics engineering. So creating circuit boards that allows you to program those chips to send the data, right? So to give you a perspective. So that's what I was doing. And yeah, man. Um when that's what I was doing, and 2013 I lost my job. I was watching a lot of YouTube content, and around that time I accidentally landed into the manosphere, but it was the red pill at the time, like the red pill. And then it's things that I already knew, like I already saw, but it was very interesting to see how many people were interested in that and the concept and discussions that were happening around that. But also part of that discussion that happened is I landed into so many contents of people like they don't feel proud of being black. They like they were I found it this thing that people were changing their colors, putting creams into their skin so that they can be lighter. People in Haiti were doing that a lot. There was this epidemic of this happening in Haiti at the time, and I was going through that depression too. So that contributed to a part of my depression. And I'm like, I don't understand why people don't like being black, and I want to do something against that, right? So around that time I was thinking of ways of what can I do to encourage people to be proud of who they are. You don't choose to be black or white, you just happen to be there, and you have to you just have to live with that, right? I think the real person is in the heart, and the body is just a car you drive, right? You just landed on a car, but you can tune up the car and make it better. You can increase your mind and increase that engine in the car, tune up the car, and make it go faster, right? So all that to say, I wanted to motivate people to do it. So I was like, watch me become a millionaire one day, and I'm going to label myself JC the Black Guy, so to show that I'm proud about it. And then my name is JC, so JC the Black Guy, I'm proud about it. There was also the political correctness. People were afraid to talk about it. All that was happening around 2013, 2014. People were afraid of saying things. So I'm like, what if I was a celebrity and people were calling me JC? They had to say JC the Black Guy. Imagine I go on CNN and then people say, well, this is JC the Black Guy. So
It's like a
seven,
pimp
there are
named
so many
Slinkback.
reasons I can go at on why I label it, but just to give you some of them, some of them is to show that I'm proud of it and I want to put it out there. Second is that's the direct correlation with my Manic episodes. I thought I was Jesus Christ, the black guy, and then yeah, and then to fight politically correctness. I don't want people to call me JC on YouTube. It's JC the black guy, but there used to be a time. But now I'm focusing more on business, so I don't care. But
Right. And the funny thing is, I don't know if you've seen the Boondocks.
no, well, I
Um,
know the Boondocks, but is there a
you
specific
know, it,
episode?
yeah, it's actually it's I think it's like the second episode or something like that, where you have Cat Williams. He is actually playing a pimp named Slinkback, and he says in there, like they call him Slinkback, and then he's like, "No, you got to say the full thing, a
Yep,
pimp named Slinkback, just like
exactly.
a tribe called Quest." Right, so JC the black guy, you got to say the whole thing.
Yeah, man.
Oh
That
yeah.
man, exactly, and that was my way to fight politically correctness, man. I'm like, hey, if my YouTube channel is named JC the Black Guy, and let's say I become a millions of subscribers, you gotta say JC the Black Guy. But anyway, like it's that was back then. But now it's business. It's all business. So I changed the name to Wealth Engineering. And to be Wealth Engineering, it's the principle. It's still those same principle, be the best version of yourself, be proud of who you are, don't have to depend on a job. And then like don't be dependent on society or jobs or anything. You can rely on your own portfolio and live up to your full potential. So it's still the same principle. It's just refurbish it in a way that is more politically correctness. and I can brand. I love branding, so I do that as well. Shout out to you, Peter Investor M. That video where you're talking about seeing the number 911 was insightful. Absolutely, man. That's I still see it, by the way. I still see number 911, but not at the same frequency that I used to when I was going through that process. And in 2016, that was the process I went through to find my life purpose. And now I have a clear goal of my life purpose. The big pictures, every action that I do is is getting me towards that life purpose, that big vision that I saw that I'm trying to achieve. So, but yeah, everything I do, so it definitely gives me. That's definitely the cure to depression for me. Having purpose is help me cure my depression. And me, I have to find cures for depression because I'm prone to be on a depressive state because I'm bipolar. So yeah, you have to find a way. Whatever that kill you make you stronger, right? So you have to find ways to live around that. So again, Peter M, you were working in avionics and drones. I was. Yes, you should make a video talking about drones. Maybe, maybe not. If I can relate it to making wealth, maybe I will. Actually, I did make some videos about that earlier this year about good drone investing in the stock market. Dragonfly was one of the stocks that was booming. I made some money on that. So earlier this year, I did talk about that, but I would say I would more likely. Right now, my interest is in crypto, man. Cryptocurrencies is definitely the way, and so many opportunities. Important for future transportation and delivery industry. Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you there. Purpose is key. Shout out to you, Pastor Tori Smith. Shout out to you. Hey, before the billion, you could go subscribe to this guy's channel, man. Pastor Tori Smith.
I think I saw
I
him on
believe
Uncle Stu.
Yep.
really.
I
Oh,
think I
I
Same
didn't
did.
guy.
know. Maybe he's joining the community already because I
Yeah,
think I
he's
met him
there
at
in
the
Blind
Streamlab,
Guys.
the Streamlabs, the Streamlabs lives, right? Streamlabs they do lives I think once a month or once every 2 weeks, and then they were doing a channel review, and then I saw his channel. But man, his setup, his camera setup and lighting, whoo, that's inspiration right now. If you guys want to know what I'm trying to do, whenever you give me donation with super chats, I'm going to start a fund. I'm gonna call it Pastor Tori Smith, guys. This guy's setup is a setup that I want to have, and I want to have because it's very good, man. Great looking lighting, camera setups, the blurriness behind the back. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. So I just wanted to mention that you are an inspiration to me. You may not know it, but you motivate me to increase my games and increase my setup and putting and taking YouTube seriously. I want to be serious for my subscribers, investors to show them that hey, it's putting the work out there too. It shows that you care about them too. So shout out to you for coming here and say hi. And any last word before the billion before we close the deal?
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me up. Honestly, I think that you know, channels like this, channels like yours, are what exactly we needed in the community. Somebody who's just here to give us knowledge and information, but also adding in that human element that we most definitely needed,
Mm.
right? Thank you so much for sharing your story with us as well. You know, I actually was just asking that question, not knowing that you have been diagnosed with bipolarism. So this is some new information that I didn't know, but it also makes it so I can relate more. So I think that not only me, but also people who are in the chat below, and also people who are going to be watching this into the future can also relate to you and also gain some more knowledge as well. So I will most definitely be supporting you all 100%, and look forward to hitting that 1K, with you right at the same
Hey,
time,
hey, we
hopefully.
gotta invite each other's on the 1K celebration party, man. So I wanna
Right.
join you when you celebrate that, and I hope you can join too as well when we celebrate that. But yeah, I'm running.
Yes.
Don't worry, tonight I'll be running more of your playlist, and we gotta do that. So shout out to you for that.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
But yeah, that's all
absolutely.
I had to say.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So again, I'm honored. Well, thank you very much. I am honored, man. I am honored. But yeah, purpose is key, guys. Purpose is key. And when we talk about, and just to close this stream, and I want to mention this last point. When we talk about your yearly financial goal, if you have a life purpose and you can visualize that purpose, then you can also calibrate every yearly goals to help you reach that purpose, that goal. I'll I'll share with you my very quickly. Um, before the billion, go check out that I have released a video on metaverse.
Hmm.
It's called "The Dangers of the Metaverse" or "The Dark Side of the Metaverse." I released this
Okay.
video clip. I did a stream a couple of weeks ago, but go check it out, man. I go deep on one of the event that happened to me when I was having a second depression. My first depression was in 2014. My second one was in 2016. But through that process, I found my life purpose. Like it was a rough process, but I did find my life purpose. But if you want to know more about that, if you're interested, you see that video right here.
Yes.
My crazy vision about the year 2056. So some weird reason I end up seeing a glimpse of the future. It has a lot to do with the manosphere. RP, if you are in the RP, you need to listen to this. I think this vision wasn't crazy after all. I think it's going to happen, but something happened to me. My brain was able to release some chemicals similar to what people would take ecstasy does, but my brain does it naturally because I'm bipolar. And but I was able to see things, and I was able to. I think it unlocked the power of my brain. I think most people can use 10% of the brain. I think me, I was able on that time. I was able to probably use 20%, and I was able to see a lot of memories that I had in the past, do a pattern, and then that allows me to see what was going to happen in the future 40 years down the line. So I was able to see 40 years, which was 2056, the year 2056, of what was happening. And through that, I was able to find my life purpose. And my life purpose is make sure that my country in Haiti does not miss the fourth industrial revolution. Because in my dream, I did see it. I did see that Haiti was still in mud, and I did not want to see that future for my country. So I decided to be an entrepreneur and do whatever I can to help this happen. In my country right now, if you look at the trend since that dream until now, it's like the mud country that I saw is already happening, right? It's already happening. People in Haiti in my generation have no hope, and they're going to need people like me. They're going to need visionaries. They're going to need people who inspire them. They're going to need people who have the capital, the financial need to invest in them, and then to start kickstart the country again. And that's why my life purpose. That is my life purpose. That's why I need to get ready for everything I'm doing is to get ready for that moment when that moment comes, so I can respond to the call and inspire others to do the same. So that's my life purpose. And every year, although I want to increase my salary, I want to increase my income, I want to increase my portfolio down the line, that's where I'm heading. I'm heading so that I can invest easy $1 million in someone. I can one day buy a private jet and inspire others to do the same. I, have you ever heard an Asian guy earning a private jet? Never heard of that. Never even conceive of that idea. I want to be that first one. I want to be the
Right.
one who inspires others to do that, and that's what I do. And I also want to use that jet to get resources to help my country. And I want to anyway. I don't want to go too deep on that, but find your life purpose, guys. It's not something easy to do. It took me 4 years, 4 years of active thinking about this question every year on what is my purpose? Why am I here? And I did it full time. But if you have a purpose, I think it will. If you have a purpose, you put all your energy on that purpose. The women will come, and they will fall in love with your purpose, not you. And that's the best way to have a relationship. If you have a woman who falls in love with your purpose and if she understands that you have a purpose to work on, then yes, that's the best relationship to have, because your purpose will stay stable. It's the same purpose, but as you're growing up, you're going to have a different mindset. What you were thinking about when you were 20 years old is not going to be the same as what you're thinking about when you're 30 years old. So if she falls in love on who you were, I'm going to that right now, by the way. If she falls in love on who you were when you were in 20, when you're 30 and you're someone else, she's going to be like, who is this guy? I didn't fall in love with this guy, right? But if she falls in love with your life purpose, and it's the same life purpose 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, and she'll stay. So again, guys, that's your life. That find your life purpose, and as you're doing your yearly life goals, your yearly goals, whether it's YouTube, shout out to Well Talk Production, whether it's for your job, shout out to you before the billion. Definitely calibrate that towards the big picture. Everything has to be a domino piece to form a big picture, and all of them have to be synchronized. So, with that said, guys, I'll let you off the panel and I have to close the stream. But it was great talking, great discussion points. And let's celebrate that 1K subscribers and subscribe to Pastor Tori Smith. Subscribes to Well Talk Production if you're still listening here. I have the link in the chat somewhere. And then subscribes to Before the Billion. And then again, guys, comment as well on the discussion so that people can find you easily as well once that
Yes.
video released. But thank you again for coming on this call and show, guys. Thank you for being my guest, and hope to see you guys grow in all aspects of your life, guys.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day,
All
Wally,
right.
and bye. All right, guys, that was it. That was it. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to have another discussion for tomorrow. DeFi. I'm going to try to invite someone on the panel to talk about decentralized finance because there's a lot of opportunity in the cryptocurrencies, and decentralized finance is one of them. In terms of bull trend, it already exploded, but it's a pattern that's going to stay in growth in the future. So if you're looking for long-term investment, you might want to look into DeFi. And I'm going to have someone to talk about it tomorrow, and we'll settle that. So tune in tomorrow for that discussion, and we'll go from there. So with that said, thank you very much, and until the next time. Sorry, give me time so that I can do my outro. All right, guys. So till next time.